that he's got it in him as well. And look, we like the fact that Saw have been able to turn things around. They really are a team that guys like you and me can get behind, right? Tier 2, battling for 1.5. They deal with some of the difficult behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on, I suppose, right? So they're always having to maybe rebuild things or change things up. And for the first time, as we talked about for a long time, the Iberian region talent is a little dry, so they have gone more international and, of course, picked up players from Endpoint. So there's a lot to be excited about for myself and Neo with this Saw team. But we'll see as we get into things here. GamerLegion kicking off on this CT side. It looks to be a B hit.
Yeah, we are live here on train. I'm excited to see it. I want to see something a little spicy. Slend. Who's there something brewing around this corner? Needs to be careful. He will hit the shot. Materius in for the trade there. Materius was fantastic despite the loss yesterday. His individual form looked very, very good. So we need more of that. Seajot 1-for-1 as Torsen will trade. And this is the pistol we want to start things off. Scrappy and in your face.
P250 is the one to watch at the moment. Trying to find just one more head. Not quite presenting just yet. It's Materius who comes in from the side here. It will eliminate one. Catches another reloading. Can't quite get the kill. Kit's on the bomb, but he's immediately taken off. So it'll be just down to PR. He does have this kit available. He's going for the hold, but he comes off of it as the steps move through. He's unsure of where the second player is. And to be honest, they just kind of fully hold, fully bait each other out, and it will be Saw to take it.
Good start. Good start for Saw as well. A little uncomfortable, but we'll take him all the same. And these are rounds that they need. These slightly weirder, slightly wackier rounds if they want to chance in this series, if they want to push it towards 3. If we're going to so heavily lean on the fact that this is, you know, pretty heavily weighted in a way in that Inferno, it's a must-have. So, good start. Just to kickstart things. Of course, no force buy going to come out for GamerLegion here. Quad stack A, just one anchoring B, but a low buy, so not expecting all too much.
No, indeed. Quickly out through main. We'll have to talk over, like, so many cons on this map. I saw Index, who's one of the UK commentators, talking about it. We got Icon, Normal Con, and T-Con, which he said he'd never heard as a call-out. I know that one. I think it's an Americanized call-out, I want to say.
Ah, okay.
T-Con to mean, like, I believe we'd call it main. Also, T-Mid. I seem to remember that being a call-out at one point for that spot.
Yeah.
So, a lot of cons, potentially.
Because we don't have, like, as well, a lot of people are calling what we would, back in the day, called, like, old train and that kind of area. Yeah. A lot of people are now starting to call that like Ivy connector in a way. I mean, in my head, I still sort of internally call that old, but I guess it probably does need a bit of an update in some way. But
kind of one of those, you just want people to look in the general area, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's such a big spot that it's like, oh, there's a guy over there somewhere. Just like get your crosshair over there, you know? Yeah,
like the way I'm kind of thinking about it is like Ivy is like, you know, the actual Ivy bit, like all the way outside, wrapping in towards that first sort of corridor. That whole area is Ivy, and then I call sort of the rest of it just like, I guess, deep Ivy is sort of what I've been calling in my games since it's no longer old train. And also, the real thing that continues to sort of make me feel a lot older than I am is that I've played a couple of like MMs and premieres and whatever, and people don't know what old train is, which is wild to me. They've just never heard of that call out before. So had to make it up on the fly a little bit. Rez will get the first through the smoke with ZTR up close. Down he goes. Same situation for Slend as he falls, and Story will deliver on towards Torsen. In a matter of moments, PR and Rez left with it all to do. A 2 versus 3, but look at the HP for Saw. Far from over in this round. Or so I say. I think Rez might be conceding.
That one does give it. That one does indeed give it across. So Saw looking good straight out of the gate here. B-bomb site. Very, very takeable and vulnerable. Pretty quick moves coming in from them as well. Seem quite effective. So yeah, certainly worry a little for GamerLegion. They went for the eco, get this early rifle buy out. But I would be curious. It's something that, you know, it'd be lovely to just kind of ask, like, in between maps if we got chance. Have GamerLegion been working on train, or are they just letting it kind of exist at the moment. You know, get familiar with it, but is there a GamerLegion train in the back pocket? Not so sure.
True. I feel like it's one of those maps that a lot of teams have started practicing in, air quotes, but it's more about sort of what level do we know that they're at, I think is probably the thing for me, right? What are we expecting? What is sort of their amount of time committed to train? And I think that's the sort of the big thing, right? They have played it once, GamerLegion, in an official, that is, of course. I'm sure they've practiced it loads. They played it once, of course. It was at this Pro League, and they lost pretty emphatically to NRG 13-5. So, not what you want to see, that's for sure. But you never know. You never know, right? Maybe since then, they've had a couple of days off where they've been able to put a bit of work in. Reds to open things up on towards Materis. Bit of a half buy here, but one that can still be a little scary. Siege Alarms are back, but he takes a lot of damage in doing so. And look at this move by ZTR. I love this. He's going to probably get a freebie on towards Story.
Could get a bit more. That's what he's after. Story, though, does halfway check his angles. Agil's there for the trade. I think, yeah, ZTR wanted some more, but unsure of whether he'd been seen, I suppose. Either way, I think he's grabbed a fair amount of information in this 3 versus 3. Really going to slow them down as you see that they are weary of more presence here in the brown halls. Rez on the M4. Doesn't quite have the timing. Drops 1, nearly drops 2. It's well traded. Seajot kind of has to let that happen on such low HP. That being said, we've got really nothing to work with here. Combined HP of 45 between the two of them is just not enough, it feels like.
Yeah, Endpoint Boys, or the ex-Endpoint Boys, got to lock in a little bit here. Of course, it's going to have a lot of synergy. Haven't played for so long together, but this is not taken away from how difficult a round this is to convert. I kind of love this from PR. You don't need to fight. You don't need to be in an exposed angle. Just wait. In a world, you can even let them plant the bomb. That's not the end of the world itself. We've got 2 mollies and a flash to work with. It's pretty common to molly that angle that PR would play from, but instead, they're going to try and let this bomb go down. Hits 1, looks for the second. It's just Azubu who hits that shot. Has a molly of his own. He goes towards Maze. He's looking the wrong way, and the molly doesn't go as deep as he would have liked. Just Star Slend on the other side. A familiar foe for Azu, but not to be. And it will be finally a first on the board for GamerLegion. My, oh my. That was close. And the big thing to take away from that is GamerLegion sort of had no right to win that, but a lot of sort of gimmicky angles and nice plays with these lower buys. And they've made it stick. And to get a first round in that fashion, it's got to help the confidence.
Yeah, big style. A little bit of a look across from Slend. Of course, we talk about the ex-Endpoint Boys on Saw, mainly because it's quite recent, you know, and I think that it still stings a bit, right? The Counter-Strike division closed down for now by Endpoint. These guys moved across for free, ultimately, beyond salaries. But Slend, of course, was there at one point for about a year or so before moving to GamerLegion about a year or so ago. So, indeed, they know each other. And there was just that little stare at the end, a little bit of a smile and a nice try kind of vibe. No bad blood, it looks like, but still, friendly competition, of course.
Yeah. I reckon it's going to be one of those games that is definitely on the more friendly side in a way. There's a lot of familiar foes there. I mean, we've got 4 players who are, you know, from UK Counter-Strike, or 4 people, including Ash, right? So it's a pretty cool kind of narrative in a way. Azu, Seajot, Slender all know each other very, very well. Ash knows the scene very well, so a lot of familiarity, and it feels like we might have a bit of that friendly sort of shit talk that we've been having. I mean, GamerLegion have been giving it large. We saw, of course, that game against Pain. They were really giving it all the way throughout. Obviously, didn't work out for them in the end, but it was still cool to see nonetheless. They get fired up. They know that it can really help them out. So, not so much. They don't really get uber loud and in your face.
Agil leading the charge over here. I mean, this looks to be another textbook burst. 20 seconds left in the round, however, so no real margin for error. ZTR hidden away at Oil will get taken down. He's bought some time, but it's just not enough. They will get that bomb plant, and it'll force a GamerLegion save just like that.
Well, I mean, it's not the worst save in the world, to be honest. AKM 4 AWP, I sort of understand it. Retaking in a 5 versus 3, it's never really going to go in your favor. I don't even think it's obviously worthwhile for them playing proactive exits either. It's a big round for Saw to take in this period of the game where for them it's very early on. We're trying to juggle economies, and because you've just been quite hardly a sort of reset against a bit of a low buy, to come in towards this one, win it flawlessly, it's a massive, massive way to just shake off any of the early series nerves. Of course, both of these sides, pressure on them, backs up against the wall in this tournament. Lose this series, you are eliminated from Pro League in Stage 2. And a 1-3 record. It's just how that Swiss system can work out. Early tack timeouts. My assumption called here by GamerLegion. Ash was there, yeah, very early doors. Enter the fray. And you know what? I like this. I think this is a good time to call a timeout. You're 3 rounds in the hole, but because you've saved, you rebuy back in. But you are still in a bit of a precarious spot, right? Money's on the brink. You're not really getting in towards this game so far. Something's got to give. So I actually like the call here. Pretty early in, but I think it's the right time.
Yeah, I think it's fair enough. Again, you know, this is a do or die kind of moment. They're going to know that they are capable of winning out on train. It's still early enough. And it does feel like this is not, you know, super desperate, but Saw definitely trying to go for something a bit different. Let me have a quick look here. We've had... Okay, they did pick it against Spirit and got a bit clapped. But other than that, they've not really lent into the train. So it seems like a map that they want to work on, that they know they need to get official experience with, but it's still not in a fantastic spot and definitely not first pick territory every single time. Quick little 1-for-1 to start this off. ZTR going to catch out. This is all over the place right now. There's fights everywhere. Another aggressive round in from Saw rather than in the final 20 seconds of the round. It comes in the first 20 seconds of the round. And we settle at a 2 versus 2 now.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, goes eerily quiet. ZTR trying to make a move. Story, tunnel visioned in. Right move, though, by ZTR. He just catches Story. He has no idea, no support as well. And Agil left with it all to do. 1 versus 2, but full HP. And the flash, not impossible. Making a lot of noise, though. He might be heard. Yeah, he definitely is heard now. Slen knows all too well about this. 50 seconds to isolate them in the 1 versus 2. And Slen going to try and pull away on the angle miss shot. Well, I needed to hit that. Just put it up to a bit of risk. ZTR is exposed, but he falls back down. There's that molly and the flash, both used to try and isolate fights. And he's trying to get round, but Slen posted on the angle. Nice little crossfire set up on the site by the two of them, holding for each other. There was no gaps in the armor there as he's tucked in towards Old, and you know, it all falls apart pretty quickly. What you want to see, GamerLegion, after an attack pause, you win around immediately. That's a positive note. That's another one for, you know, Nera's little spreadsheet of success rates off the back attack pauses, and that's a really good time to find success for GamerLegion.
Do you know something that has definitely died with this version of Train is like the lane callouts? Yeah. Hold the point. Wait. I'll hold the point because Sirius is going crazy, bro. He's just gone absolutely wild here. Thought we might have at least 10 seconds to just talk over that, but no, Sirius is not messing around. He's looking for another. He will get dropped. But surely enough damage done. ZTR seems ready. He just doesn't know where to put his bullets. And with that, thanks to Sirius on the openers, 4v2 and the save, yeah.
Yeah, there's just no way. So what are you saying about lane?
So, like, there'd be all the different trains were positioned so perfectly on Old Train. Yeah. Some of the callouts, I think it maybe came from Source or something, even though they had changed. But the general layout of Train was pretty much the same in all iterations, as far as I'm aware. It's just like, or the layout of the trains was the same. Yeah. So anyway, you would call it like, as you look on the minimap, it'd be like lane 1 would be from like main all the way down to Ivy, and then lane 2 would be the other side of that train that was like the channel between, and then lane 3, 4, 5, 6. So that used to be like a call out that it's like, oh, there's a guy watching that lane, you know, which was always so wild to me. I could never wrap my head around it, but I think that was like super high level call-outs because trying to properly pinpoint a guy, if you called like lane 1, it'd be like, okay, I know he can be in that general area. But if you said, orange train or whatever it was, he's obviously going to have moved after getting that kill probably.
Yeah, it is interesting. Like, I remember, I don't know if it's still used, but I remember the old Na'Vi would talk about how, I say old Na'Vi, like the 2021 Na'Vi would talk about how they use numbers for call-outs rather than...
Yeah, well, that's the blade system.
Position. Yeah, the blade system. I don't think they still do that, though, because I've seen a few clips of them nowadays, and I haven't heard the numbers. I've more so obviously heard the call-outs and stuff, but it's really interesting way they went about it. They would always say, like, it's really difficult to learn, but once you do learn, it makes everything quicker.
Yeah, and like you've got a little quadrant again.
Yeah.
So instead of calling a guy as stairs, he's like front of connector. So it's more general, so you're more like aware rather than tunnel visioning into stairs, and then he's moved to, you know, left of connector towards jungle or whatever, and you're looking in completely the wrong area.
Low by to a degree for GamerLegion. I mean, it's still a somewhat scary one, because 5-7s always do worry me a little bit. And the orb's still in play, but not for much longer. PR needs both and can only get one. And I think pretty simply, the decision's made for GamerLegion here of a save. So, starting into train really, really effectively. I mean, they look cutthroat right now, and it feels like this decision to go here is, yeah, absolutely the right one. Yeah, it's pretty wild. I did question it a little bit. It's a little risky when you don't have, you know, loads of reps. Saw already played twice themselves in officials, but so far so good. GamerLegion just cannot get going on this CT side. It just feels like, honestly for me, and this is something I've seen happen a lot at the tier 2 level, where when teams are trying to get a little bit more of an in-route in towards a map like this on the CT side, they actually need to be more aggressive, a little bit more proactive in how they approach. Agil might get res on the tail end, and he will. And actually, Story finding his kill as well means no one surviving for GamerLegion. So a great call to hunt and a great start, as we mentioned, continuing for them. The series looking very good for the majority Portuguese mix, and yeah, GamerLegion can't get back into it. Hence why they're going for another timeout. And they're going to be eco to follow it, if I'm right in saying. Money. Oh no, I'm wrong. They got enough for rifles.
They're just halved. So
yeah, they're halved there with the MP9s.
Yeah, but this is looking tough. And I mean, again, you know, Ash actually getting a little more energetic for, you know, only 8 rounds into the game.
Yeah.
Just trying to keep them in, and I think there is a little bit of like, I know we've not done loads of work on it. I know we're still getting comfortable on the map and whatnot, but just remain positive, so on and so on. But it does look like, look, when you're 6-2 down already against Saw, who they themselves have pulled this map out at this tournament, and it didn't look great. I think you're not in a good spot, let's say that, if GamerLegion just struggling. And it's a lot of saves, you know, you're not really getting close to bomb sites on the retakes and whatnot. So we need to see that change quickly, because otherwise we are in for a pretty quick affair here on Train.
Azu fading through that smoke. He wants to confirm the kill. He will. Only gets one, but it's information gained, and one of that information is PR in the open. So exposed. The flash is so good as well. Siege double swing, double find. TR wants to go through the flames. It's ill-advised, and he somehow gets out alive, but I don't think it's going to affect the round. I think it might be another save, Scriv.
Yeah, maybe. Might be. Possible.
At some point, you got to give him a little bit of a go, but this one, again, another really difficult one. You know what I mean?
Right. There's just no point. There's just no point. Yeah. We had a bit of a disagreement about whether to save in the overtime. Honestly, I remember we talked about that in the overtime, and chat was absolutely cooking me, apparently. So, you know.
Yeah, I got to say.
They like saving, it would seem.
That's one I won't, you know, back down on. It was like, what was it? It was Inferno, first of all, which is just saves galore. I know it's not pretty, but Counter-Strike's a numbers game ultimately.
But look, the thing is though, look what happened. We saw G2 yesterday. They were going for those like 3v3s with a guy a bit low, or
but that was a 2v4 they were saving on those. You know,
I think there was 3 of them. I think it was like maybe 5v3, maybe. I don't think there was only 2. Right, we're gonna really fall out if we start getting back into it. I'm sorry.
The numbers weren't good. Is all I'm saying.
The numbers weren't good. Yeah, they were down. Yeah. They were down by 2. It was enough that you're not going to go mental, but
exactly. And the numbers
the first round of overtime, mate.
For GL, yeah, exactly. Numbers aren't good though at the moment. Just the one rifle for ZTR and a few pistols alongside him. This is looking very, very easy for Saw. I mean, they are waltzing through this without having to break a sweat. P250 or Slend going to try and get up close here. Does have support a res. And a slower round by Saw. I kind of like this, actually. You know, they've been going for a lot of fast entries and then reacting. This time they're going to play considerably slower and see what the reaction looks like. See what the response is for GamerLegion. ZTR did push in towards Pop, but sort of falls off the position a little bit, falling away. They might fight him, though. Agil is here. It's a fight that you would generally favor him in, but he spotted a couple now. I don't actually think there's a need to go and keep testing this. You know there's players there. You can leave them there if you want, but they're going to fall away.
Yeah, I like this from GamerLegion completely. Just changing up their positions, making sure that information that has been grabbed by Saw is completely useless. And they will look to hit this B-bomb site. Keep your eyes on ZTR. Can he get himself? Oh, in a solid position. Maybe not quite ready for the creep out from heaven as they get caught in the back. ZTR is still alive and could indeed get a catch. Muteris easy for him. But that reveals his location. And that makes him an easy trade. So, unfortunately, not in the position, not given the opportunity to go crazy. I mean, Saw feeling so good about this. So many players pushing forwards, getting into the face of GamerLegion before the bomb's even gone down. Res,
just a 5-7. Not a lot that we can expect out of him. This is, yeah, it's simple, isn't it? It's super effective. And it's also the fact that for the majority of rounds for Saw, they're not only winning them, but they're winning them actually quite easily in a way, right? We're winning them with not a lot of casualties. This time, another one, only a couple of casualties here. 8-2 is the scoreline. Yikes, this is not where they want to be. You can genuinely talk about how double digits is not only possible, but actually, in a weird way, sort of expected now for Saw of how well they're playing. GamerLegion are offering up so little in this first half that I don't know if they could get 4. 3, even that feels slightly unlikely, the way in which these rounds have been dismantled so simply. Beautiful display. 8-2. Buy back in for the CT side, and Slend is a lucky man to be alive.
Story trained in and ready for an opportunity to roll his way. Nothing coming, GamerLegion. I think using a method I employ quite a bit in the matchmaking games, which is don't die.
I like it.
Another call for this round. Well, sometimes
my teammates would take it in. I wish some of my teammates would learn that one, honestly.
The one guy just running mid every round, dying. Yeah. It's like, maybe just try something different. Just try, sitting on the bomb site, mate.
Oh, mate.
For one round.
So frustrating. I play with a friend of mine from home who, we've been playing together since like 2016. He's never got better, right? Bless him, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't care. He just plays every now and again. But the one thing I always say to him, like, James, like, just don't push every round. CT or T side doesn't care. He just runs every round. I'm like, just on CT, just sit on side for a little bit. I promise, he's got like decent mechanics. He'd be all right, but he does not care, and it is so frustrating. C-Drop, another entry for him. He's very good at this as well, C-Drop, getting space and utilizing it. Torsen and ZTR, Slenderlaw fall as well in quick succession. A matter of moments is PR left alone, and I would assume dead momentarily, especially now that he's spotted. He might just try and keep hold of the rifle as a slight saving grace in towards the next round, but even that feels like a big ask. This is C-Drop looking for the hunt, can't get the find. PR might get the upgrade to an AK, but I don't think it's going to change the outcome of this round. Yeah. GamerLegion turns SaverLegion, as the chat have coined it, and it will be a 9th for Saw.
Very good.
And Agila see it off. Yeah, chat, I'll give you that one. SaverLegion's actually, that's pretty based. I like that one. 9 rounds, though. My God. Well, not only just 9 rounds as well, incredibly quickly 9 rounds.
Oh, yeah. 20-minute game so far. Yeah. Really Really, really speedy stuff from Saw. I think, look, you can see it a few times in this round. We've seen him get caught in the back a couple times as well. It's like GamerLegion, I just don't think are comfortable with those nuanced parts of the map. They might have indeed worked it, scrimmed it, but it always functions different in the scrimmy, puggy environment. I think they look uncomfortable. The angle's not quite tight enough or indeed wide enough if a rush comes their way. So they, a lot of the time, are just working off of instincts, and those instincts are not up to scratch quite yet. We do like some aggression in this round, though. They do scare scare Saw backwards, and may well give themselves a bit of room, bit of space to work with.
That's what I was saying earlier. I feel like when you see really good teams play this map, the one thing they always utilize is real aggression on that CT side. Oh my god, how is he alive? He's killed one, damaged the second as well. Agil still breathing somehow as C-Drop finds another to open things up. Agil has got away with so much there, way too much, and that's indicative of how badly things are going for GamerLegion. They look lost on this map. Awesome with the swing and the fire, and that at least is something. 2 versus 3, make that one though. As PR left with it all to do, they know exactly where he is, so it shouldn't make too big of a difference. Swing and a miss, 10-2. There's double digits, Scriv. That is one of the most dominant halves I've seen in a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. Saw looking good. They have pulled this map out. They got ruined on it, but clearly they have been doing the work. GamerLegion, I think of their own volition. You know, you see it on their socials. Maybe not the favorite on this map for sure, and it is showing, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's going to be a quick one. It surely has to be over in a matter of rounds into the second half. Sort of set themselves up in that way. Maybe GamerLegion can pick up some nice individual moments. Then we got the Inferno next, of course, that they will be waiting for. Their home map, their comfort map. And hopefully we can see a better version of the squad. But after that first half, it's not looking hopeful. We're going to take a break, folks. When we are back, we'll see if this one concludes quickly.
Flow penetrates egos with the dark and the broken. Meanwhile, the hell smoking. Whoa, let me get my roaching. Been promoting the green and the purest herb. FPs get vexed and they swear they words. On daytime telly where they blur with her like word. I rep mine, got a sword for the dagger in the best way.
Baby, if you want me, I will be right by your side. And baby, you can call me. You can call me. You're the sun which makes my moonshine. Never knew love like that. You're always gonna make me feel right. I never met a boy like that. It was always meant to happen in time.
Jack, the big gap, the ones who can't stretch. Breaking the neck when we in the car next. Dead bars, need a defibrillation ASAP. Get boxed with a straight gap. I'm reminded of my state they lack. Every time that they climb time, we go way back. Only wanna be is just ruthless. Never seen warfare, rep troopers.
As he turns it, nice headshot.
An absolute clinic by Saw right now. This is dominant, to say the least. Akil leading the way with 14 alongside CJot as well, but the one difference Akil has, he's only got 3 deaths. 14 and 3. He is loving life in the server right now. CJot 14 and 8 and 10 and 6 for Meteorus. And do you know what? Everybody having their bits and their moments here. Same can't be said on the flip side. GamerLegion, only 2 rounds for them. The best they've got is Res 9 and 9. Honestly, they're calling 999 currently with how badly this train is going. There's been question marks about the map pool for sure for GamerLegion, and this is an obvious blip in it.
Nice, man. That was a good line. I appreciate that.
I am actually that poet. I can't lie.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Julie's up close. CJot eventually finds another. Oh, that's filthy.
My dualies don't work like that.
No, they do not. I feel you on that.
Ooh,
what is going on? What is going on?
Mine go everywhere. Oh
my god! Oh my god! And yeah, he takes a moment to give it. I mean, fair enough.
My god,
can't see
dude,
Julie's
my
that effective
dualies,
usually.
They go into like the moon.
Yeah, unless they are literally like in the barrel of the gun.
Yeah.
I'm not getting any headshots at all. And then I'll do like, 85 in 6 to a guy.
Yeah. If I'm right in saying as well, that was all one clip. He didn't reload there. After he got that first kill, he just rolled through them one by one, 11 to 2. I think we're very quickly going to Inferno at this rate, mate. I cannot see a world in which GamerLegion get into this. We've gone for a force buy. I actually don't blame them. Literally, what have we got to lose?
Yeah, you just have to hope that, like, what do they call it? Deus Ex Machina, divine intervention. The round here is not on them. It is on some higher power to give them a chance. I was going to say, maybe it's CJot with an overlooked angle, but he did check it. Slen still wins the fight.
There's the
Comes away with an M4 as well. So, yeah, there is your gift from above.
How can we, utilize that gift into something a little more? He tears up close there. He reclaims that immediate sort of angle. Pretty chunky nade on towards Res 2. This round far from over despite the opener for GamerLegion. They just don't have the space to work with to get out somewhere. But it looks like they want to commit towards A.
Oh, Mutiris, good timing. Nice spray down, decent damage. Oh, Story does get clapped in the side. Still, it's a 2 versus 1 as the dust settles. Looks good. Azuu strikes true, and GamerLegion, despite a gifted frag and a gifted gun, just cannot catch a break here. Another round yet again. And this guy is definitely wearing a hoodie on one side on purpose.
Yeah, because we spoke about this yesterday. I had a little conversation with Jonas, our wonderful observer. Shout out my goat one time. I'm not sure if he's alongside Chev or Zarks for this one, but also both goats themselves. So shout out our observation team. But speaking to Jonas about this yesterday, and he was saying that he thinks there might be a little draft in the studio just on that side. So he's blocking the draft a little bit. And genuinely...
here's the thing now. Here's the thing. Put the hoodie on and then, scrunch the sleeve up and you won't have the friction. Why has he got the hoodie on just one side? And then it's not. Surely it's more awkward.
It's fashion, sister. You wouldn't get it, all right? No. You wouldn't get it, sunshine. Res and Slend can open things up in what potentially is the final round here, or maybe not, as Slend and PR finally shows something positive, and it puts a Gil into a 1 versus 4. What do we, for GamerLegion it's great, right? We finally get something to work with on the T side. I mean, it's not over yet, but it should be. There's no kit to work with for a Gil. He's only got a molly. But at the same time, if a Gil can make it a little expensive at the end, he'll take whatever he can.
Yeah, I don't even know that he's going to get that opportunity, though, honestly. He's kind of thinking about it. It's a save, but it's wanting someone to come his way type save.
Yeah.
But they're not risking anything either, Listen, the comebacks can happen. Right? Happened to G2.
True.
It can indeed happen. We've seen them recently, and I think when it's in the air, everyone will be talking about it a little bit. Like, you know, you're in the green room, getting whatever it is you get in the green room, right? Whatever you're after, and you know, you see a guy from a different team. You go, man, you see what the Mongols did to G2? It's crazy. It's like, imagine if we pulled off a clutch like that, you know, or whatever. So when it's in the air a little bit, it can get sort of messy. I think So are going to have to appreciate that one.
The chat talking about how they're thinking it's going OT now. Delusion is a grandiose thing, but I can respect it.
Also, someone said, right, they said it's obviously because he doesn't enjoy having his sleeve. Yeah, but what I'm saying is you put it on and then you push the sleeve up, bro. Like, I'm doing
but that's
right
uncomfortable.
Now, I've got no sleeve on the mouse pad. You know?
Tricks blood flow to the lower arm.
What the hell are you talking about, man?
No, honestly, why doesn't he just wear like a gaming sleeve, like on both arms, and then just block all the winds? You know what I mean?
Or like, you know, maybe long sleeve is what we're talking about here, so it can't really be long sleeve. But gaming sleeve is a good shout. Gaming sleeve is a good shout. I don't know. Some people run cold though. To be fair.
True. Swing and a miss from C-Jot. A Guild should get one for free here, and he will. Slender fall. Oh, so will PR. Round back on. 2 versus 2. There might be something brewing here if Azubu could have got that kill, but he can't. Oh, laboured from the Brit. And leaves it all down to this man. I mean, he's been lights out so far. 17-3 for a Guild. What have he got for us? 1v2 is not impossible, but again, no kit. That makes it a lot harder. Yeah, I think he's just going to concede it. Fair enough. You've got so many rounds to work with. You've also scooped up an AK. You don't need to rush. You've got plenty of time to see this over the line.
Sorry, I'm still just keeping my eyes. Another guy said that it rubs against... Listen, I'm going to die on this hill. Look at where the mouse pads are. Okay? you push the sleeve up enough, it's not going to touch the mouse pad. Unless you are, like... really stretching and like leaning your arm over, which I don't think any of them are really going to do, because that's more uncomfortable than having your sleeve pushed up. Listen, man, have your quirks, but I'm gonna call you out on it, you know? Surely this is a weirder feeling, having like the hoodie across your back and also you kind of sat on it a little bit and like it's tied up across the middle of his body, you know? Surely that is a stranger feeling than just wearing the sleeve up, you know?
I get you. I guess we'll have to ask. If they win, we can actually request them.
Yeah, don't worry, mate.
Yeah, if they win, we can either we can about request him if he wants to come. But also, like, part of me, if they also win, wants to speak to Azu. But then, you know, we may as well find out the conclusion, right?
More facts and logic here. If a draft is coming across, it will keep blowing. It doesn't just stop when it hits you, right? Like, some of the air will keep blowing across to your right arm. You know what I'm saying? Unless this is the most perfectly aimed draft onto, like, Story's left shoulder.
Yeah, that's what it could be, though. You never know. You never know.
Well, it could. And if that's the case, then maybe I can concede that point. But air keeps moving around the thing that it hits. You know what I mean? So it's going to be hitting his right arm eventually, you'd assume. I'm just saying. So
there you go.
You know, explain that, bro.
Well, it's like bar the rifles, it's a low buy. But now we've got 2 AKs picked up, but I do get a little scared. Like, if GamerLegion were going to lose the game, this feels like the kind of round which they would fall flat to, and one of the kills will just be a USP that's in the back line somewhere, and Azu could be the one, in all fairness. And goes Agildo. That will change things. Azu, no escaping there, my friend. I'm sorry. He will fall. So just the 1 AK left. Materis is moving in time, though.
Oh, he smoked off the spray down. Not really going to get there, unfortunately. Bomb will get planted. That should be the round. Locked in for GamerLegion.
Yeah, they can. The only issue is that, yeah, like the observers are pointing out, they can't actually really go and collect that other AK. So you just save him one. Rez will see off Seajot. It's a tepid end to this round, unfortunately. But for us, and I'm sure for all of you watching at home, this does feel like the literal definition of a cosmetic comeback. It should be so simple to see over the line. Like one mistake from GamerLegion and it will get punished. But we've seen weirder things, right? That 11-2 from G2 is the thing that's always going to come back to our mind just because of how obviously recent it was, but how dire it was in a way. We're going back into the buy now for Saw, right? So the Portuguese side get rifles back out, and this could be the closing remarks on train. It's been a pretty one-sided train. And it is rough for GamerLegion. But never fear those at home, right? We've portrayed this a little bit in the pre-show. Inferno is such a good map for GamerLegion. All expectations they should take that. So this is just giving us that most likely 3 map. Slend close, but he gets out.
Just about. Nade round here. Mutiris, of course, taking a forward step. He's had a really aggressive game, it feels like, here on train. Some pretty flashy rounds on the T side of things. Small lineup for the smoke, but may well be a fake out here on that A-bomb site. That's kind of a cool smoke. Is that landing all the way towards Ivy? That's pretty cool smoke for sure, but not really going to do anything with it.
We're grouping up for a B here, feels. Quiet as they're setting up. There is just the one man here, but he's arguably the main man in a sense. Him and CJ have been flying. But you're going to go pretty nuclear here. He hears a lot. Oh, he makes noise though. He somehow gets away with a kill, so that alone is not bad in a 1 versus 1. Rez going to get traded out, but he gets 2 before he falls with a big flank from Seajar. He could deny the bomb, or he could get both. Slen misses a shot, and it's just one man. PR so far away, and he's making noise, and Materis knows where he is. Diving around will not make a damn difference. Seajar defuses, and it's Saw who take train, and my god, do they take it with ease.
Yeah, looking very, very clinical. I mean, even in a slightly more stressful round there, of course, they are able to mount a clean retake. So, learning a lot of lessons after playing against Spirit, it feels. Legion are going to win this map, basically.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. We'll have to see, though, kind of heading in towards this one. Where we're at the moment, at the very least, I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Saw, and they just look so clean, so crisp. Let's take a look and see. We're live. Map number 2 here. We had a very, very quick map number 1 at 13-5. It felt like we never really got in towards the series all too much. We're hoping for a 3-mapper, our final game here on the B stream, so we want to make the most of it, but GamerLegion aren't giving us that much hope. They've got to start in towards this one very well, and I like this from Materis. He's pushed all the way through T-Apps, and he's starting to get a lot of info that there's not a lot of presence here. Second mid is empty. T-Apps is empty. Guys, they've got to be setting up towards B, hence why we got 3 here. Ooh, Nade Azu just gets out.
Could be a big difference maker. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, he got it.
Confident for it. He gets another. The Julies of this guy are just unreal. Man alive, he hits shots that you would never believe. And PR is in the 1 versus 4 here with a bomb spilled at the feet of the enemy. So not a good look. Not a good look at all. Seajot is happy to take a fight for a bit more, and he's going to win it. I mean, it's just unreal.
Another 4K.
That's 2 4Ks, yeah, on those Julies. Crazy scenes.
It makes it look so easy. So easy. Brilliant work. It has to be said. I mean, Seajot, God, did that one a little lucky. The full blind shot through the smoke, but you take them all the same. Seajot on Julies, a match made in heaven. 8 kills across 2 pistol rounds with them. And Saw start well again. Oh my god, it keeps going from bad to worse. Deep nade down and towards mid. This looks like a bit of an existence time. They're actually all playing around. deep tea app / kitchen, and they're just going to have a bit of a talk. ZTR, he really has to instill into the guys saying, it is actually now or never. We are backed up against the wall. We lose this map. We are out of Pro League. We have to make something work here.
It's a nice bike, admiring the workmanship on that bike. I have a bike that looks a little bit like that, the old like classic sort of style.
Yeah. I've no complaints with it. No complaints. But for GamerLegion, they like a bomb plant. We're not expecting really a hell of a lot. We've got no U2 as well to get them out here, which makes it all the more harder. They are going towards AS 3 players here. One of which being the MP9. Story could make a lot of cash in the back pockets here. Or they go into Smooterius at range. The best of luck. One, not quite the second, in all fairness. Flash will come over. There's a lot. And they are starting to wrap his position. He drops the bomb, though. The only man left holding long was the bomb itself. And this one now should be very simple. Azu for 2. And Materis cleans it out. You get the 1 consolation kill, but a pretty easy round all the same, as expected.
Yeah, I mean, good to get a kill, right? You're trying to just do any kind of damage that you can. It is just a bit of a shame, like you say. You can see them in towards CT to get that 1B kill, maybe rush and try and get the plant, but no, the bomb did not get the memo. Maybe he was hoping that they would start, like, rotating and he could sneak onto A, the old you go B, I go A kind of move, but didn't happen. Didn't happen. Into the guns here. GamerLegion, I think, need to honestly pick this up and just prove to themselves that they can, that they are in this game, that their life in this tournament is not fully in jeopardy. However, Saw kick things off aggressively. Cjot with a forward-facing hold. Goes 1 for 1. Maybe not ideal. Calls a rotation across. The utility is in, but it's not going to stop Torsen here. Mizuho seems acutely aware. Smoke going to go down, and Torsen is unbothered. He's straight through everything. He's certainly made noise, but the site is compromised quickly. Bomb plant should be very, very possible here. And the rotations are slow, so I don't know how we necessarily feel about this one. Oh, he's spotted. Could make a difference. I mean, it's really going to slow the rotations, though, man.
It is. Because they can't make noise either. That's the only issue. They've got to spend a lot of resources seeing him off. Oh, that's really awkward. Wow, that took a lot to get him dead. Rez will find Story. 3 versus 3. Do have time. Molly will push Slend into the open. He didn't want that swing. Kill upon high. Quick trade. 2 versus 1 now. Materius is tagged. Smoke. And Rez gets dealt a bit of damage himself. On the defuse. He can't quite find it. He can't find it. It's going to be Saw who steal away a round. Oh, it's heartbreaking for GamerLegion to let it slip again like that.
Yeah, that is heartbreak. I mean, as you like to say, that is incredibly fine margins. Great utility usage. I'm not quite sure which player it came from, but the smoking banana, as soon as they get the information off of this kill, then a molly at new box to isolate that fight from the same guy. So really well played. Azura was the only one with a kit, making sure that that gets picked up in all that chaos. It is very, very easy to just kind of step off to the right and you walk past it and then you've not got it when you think you do. So they do a very good job of being aware of where that kit is at all times, and it makes all the difference. So very close, very, very close round. GamerLegion won't feel that way. They will feel absolutely bested in a 1 versus 2 that, didn't happen through the smoke, but a little bit of a mic issue. Golden's like, it's the 2-finger rule. That's what we get taught in like casting or whatever is when you wear one of those headsets. If you can fit 2 fingers in, that's enough space to make sure that you're not too loud. So, Golden knows his stuff, mate. He knows his headsets, it would seem. That being said, his mic is pretty far away and at his chin. So I don't know, mate. Maybe look in the mirror first before you start getting in there and adjusting everybody else's.
It's true. But again, maybe he doesn't need it because he's not allowed to talk. And then he moves it when he's called upon. Something like that. Who knows? I'm trying to make excuses for him.
This is true. I think you could be right. I think you could be very right. It's also like, it'll be quieter when he needs to talk, right? Nobody else will be kind of chatting.
Yeah.
I think players, you need to be heard. It can't be like slightly quieter or whatever. Like everyone needs to be on kind of the same level.
Rez is praying right now. Please.
Yeah, he's getting. I thought he like opened his eyes like ready Terminator mode.
Yeah,
ready.
Hardest lock-ins of 2025, right there.
And then he closed his eyes again, so he didn't quite. He opened his eyes. He was like, maybe not quite yet.
Nah, I'm not feeling it. Actually, the vibes are still not good. Yeah. Well, we'll fix his mic. Normally, it's quite a quick fix, and it is unironically just quite the difference of just like plugging it in and out again. It seems to sort of fix them. At least when we've had these issues before, but Slender move his into place. That's a good sign. Maybe we're getting a little closer.
I hope so.
Oh, hello. Mic check, mic check.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is your mic check? What do you say? You know, 1 2 1 2.
Well, as casters, we have what we normally do for like checking our mic, which is we count from 1 to 10.
Yeah, like.
But we start a little quieter, yeah, and we get loudest at 10 to like check our peaks or whatever. That's I actually think that's a really good way. Before we used to be like, oh, can you talk, please check your mic, and then you're like, I don't know what to say, like, hi, welcome, mic check. But now 1 to 10, like, beautiful. Actually, it's pretty easy. So
yeah, I do a little bit of like, what did I have for breakfast? If you don't know what to talk about, and honestly, you can just make it up. It doesn't even have to be true, but just talk about a breakfast that exists, or
there we go.
Kind of just intro the tournament. You know what I mean? Like pretend you are on broadcast, which is always like super awkward. Like when you're doing a rehearsal as well, when like a full breakdown of like, right, let's do the intro, then we're doing this graphic, then we're doing that, then we're doing map veto to make sure that works. That always feels so awkward to be like,
it does.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? And then you just kind of get into it and you're like, I don't want to try too hard, do I? Everyone's like watching, I don't want to seem like super serious for the rehearsal.
Well, looks like we're fixed. We're getting the fist bombs coming through, and the lock back in. The half sleeve shoulder is still there for Story.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
I think at this point we've really got to. Yeah, we got to ask him. I think we might request him for the interview for that specific reason, just to find out, because I got to know, or at least whoever we get from Saw, I'm gonna make them find out, because I need to know.
I did see someone in chat said that apparently he was on like Roman's stream or something after a game, saying that it is a bit cold in the studio.
There we go, little breeze.
That's a little bit of it.
The case.
But we still.
Oh, whoa! Half sleeve.
It works.
Fine. Rez gets clipped. Okay, nice shot from Story. Not the way that Rez wanted to go. Torsen is tucked here. Nade'll soften him up. Seajot, do your due diligence. Just clear out here. He will. The flash comes half a second too late. Torsen was already a dead man walking. And I got 2 AKs and a Tech 9 to try and save face a little bit in this round. It's tough.
Oh, PR's ahead of some of the utility here. I couldn't quite find the head. He had the angle, but he was on a shoulder peak. If he really dedicated to the shot, he may well have found it, to be honest. But not the case, and that's more info for Saw to work off of. 40 seconds left here. Seems like GamerLegion do just want to send it in. May well start to have a conversation about saving AKs. Honestly, they are buying in the next, but like it just feels like a complete lockout right now.
Save a Legion back again, it feels.
Well, it's not their fault. Well, it's the map.
Yeah. I don't know if they get a choice here anymore as well. They're being hunted. They're being surrounded, suffocated in towards top mid. ZTR doesn't spot the player tucked. He's got an AK, but 9 seconds. Keeping hold of what we've got. Saw having a great time. Some would say a glorping time here, as has been said a hell of a lot on towards the A stream. ZTR to survive off the time. He gets that luxury. But this is dire straits for GamerLegion. This is meant to be the punish pick, or at least the map in which they've been so clean on, but they are just not awake. Despite the later kind of call time, a later start to the game, they are all over the shop right now.
A little bit of silence as we run down mid on the cam path. Of course, it is short-lived on Inferno. There's so much early utility, as we know. Lots and lots in Banana. Sort of done a pretty good job, I think, at keeping GamerLegion at bay, not allowing them any bouts of aggression over here. 4-0, still early doors, still very early doors indeed, but so far so good from Saw. You know, it doesn't look like GamerLegion are a completely fresh team and going to turn things around completely. They will have their work cut out here to take this story with another early pickup on the crack angle. The return flash is good, but CJot just holds mouse 1 and it works. Molotov isn't going to reach in, unfortunately. Both players still safe. And so the 5 versus 3, ooh, briefly holds on. CJot, I think, moved into the fire, or did it spread to him at the very last second? I think it was done spreading. So I think he did not respect that it was still there. So maybe a silly death to give away. PR on a lurking move finds the 3 versus 3 here. So it is back. It is certainly back out of nowhere. GamerLegion may well have given themselves a chance in. Mutiris super aggressive hold as per usual, but it will work out. Gill to hold. Oh, Rez gets Mutiris in the back. Sight player gonna have to pop off here, and he can't. Rez with a big move to get the 2-piece and maybe give them this round. Yeah, Story just on the save, unfortunately. Not really.
It's just not worth it, I feel, right? In this spot.
Yeah, he's too far away.
Keep hold of what you've got. You're chilling. You're fine. But a really good round nonetheless. I feel for GamerLegion, it's one of those things where they maybe get a little fortunate in some instances where we're talking about how the trades weren't exactly there, but is it the end of the world? I don't think so. I think we're probably still absolutely chilling. I did see, you know, people talking about, you know, a GL being a spectator. He was 0-0 up until his final death. Now he is in the server, but he's dead. So, would you rather be spectating? Maybe. Says a lot, though, that Saw didn't even need him putting up the output that he did in towards map number 1 to have, you know, still a pretty comfy lead. It says a lot about how well Saw are playing. And actually, I think it's probably a real testament to how strong their B hold has been. Banana's been really well done. I think, you know, CJot running through the flames, little funky, little weird, but it is what it is. Timeout going to be called here. Ryan saying it's a Saw timeout as well. So I'd say maybe Golden entering the fray, but it seems like a lot of the conversation just being held here by Mutiris. But yeah. I don't think there's too much to worry about. Do you know what I mean? This is just one of those early timeouts where it's like, all right, you know, they go around. It's fine. You know, we've still got a 3-round lead. We're still in a, you know, a very decent spot. Don't stress. Don't worry. We're chilling. Like, it's okay.
Noticed it yesterday as well. I think Mutiris does a lot of the talking in the timeouts. Again, I'd be curious to kind of pick the brains and see what Golden is bringing. But I do have a feeling that it's going to be more of this behind the scenes, at least for the time being. This is the thing. He's still relatively new to the role, and it may well... He's IGL'd, but it may well be something that he's not quite as comfortable with as watching the demos and coming up with the anti-strats and whatnot, you know? So there's always going to be strengths and weaknesses to your game, again, particularly early on. And he's probably still in the stage of, like, let me just figure out how they like to run the team. You know, maybe Mutiris is a slightly sterner kind of hand when it comes to those timeouts, and it's like, okay, well, if I'm going to do one, I need to be easier to work with and listen to, and, you know, many different methods, as we are seeing. The Na'Vi clip, I think, doing the rounds. A little bit out of context, of course, but all the same, it can happen within teams. Story has opened up here, once again, making it look easy. GamerLegion are on the back foot and going to need another hero moment. Story, does get bested this time. Caught moving. Crosshair does not straighten off. Mutiris, the king of the off angle, it feels like at the moment, gets that trade onto PR.
Yeah. On the angle, missed shot. Mutiris falling back. Doesn't need to fall too far away. He's actually going to play for the big pit angle. Not alone in the endeavor towards the A side, but they're going to go back towards B. There's 2 players here to meet them. Cjot and Azu. No util though, so they just have to take raw fights. Cjot's boosted up. That's one thing that could really work in his favor. Azu playing non-contact towards back pillar. Time ticking. In they come. Cjot for the first. Gets the kill, drops down. Azu still here. Cjot trying to buy time. And he might just do enough as well. Down he falls. His bomb's got to go down. No time. So you may get the kills, Salson, but it makes no difference and he'll die. Even still, and I think that was off the time, judging by the fact that he has 1.7 grand left over. So yeah, just off the time there for Towson. Tough one. And an attack pause called, an immediate success for Saw. That is as good as it gets.
Yeah, the replays speak for themselves. So well played. And they continue to be a nuisance, you know. One round and not able to string them together is really not a good sign from GamerLegion. I can't lie to you, Neo, right? We've watched a couple of maps across the course of Stage 2 that have been like this, where you just cannot get your claws in. And it feels like it happens a lot more on LAN as well. The quick readjustments. And, of course, Saw with that timeout, right? It's obviously paid dividends. GamerLegion denied money, and yeah, we'll be on the half buy. So Saw starting to stretch ahead once again. I thought that was a window and like a really bad render or something, like swapping across to that picture. That really threw me off for a second.
We've had two quite dominant starts to both games. In fact, Mongols 13-4, 3D Max in map 1. They're 8-1 up currently in map number 2. So that series looks like it might be over. Maybe actually even quicker than ours, which is saying a lot. But we did have a brief tech pause, I guess. Flash over. B9 up close. And actually, a Geo going to go aggro with it. He can't get the second, though. Drive-by Tech 9s will net them the sight. And they might just say, if it looks like Azu's not feeling the fight, Cjot might stick around for exits because there's only an MP9 for him. But there's actually not a lot of money for Sword. Despite the successes they've had in the start of this game, financially, they're still in a little bit of trouble. So with 2 being saved there, I don't even really think they're going to buy in towards the next.
Damn. Okay. GamerLegion are indeed capable of the set rounds. Seem to be a little bit of negativity around them I've been seeing, you know. Some people getting slightly annoyed by just winding the clock down and going for the execute, but
yeah,
it works very, very well for GamerLegion here, and a big round to be taking, like you say. Save going to come in. It's not going to have much of an impact. Let's go. One would think they might try and piece together what they can, but as you mentioned, probably just holding these guns and taking a half by.
Let's see, what is the investment?
Well,
We tell a lie. It looks like
you need to. So Mutiris was like minimum, and I think they just need to fully even out the econ here.
Full reset.
And next anyway.
Who knows, man? You know, MP9s, a Deagle for a Geo. You never know. I've seen weirder ones converted. We've got a lot of util to work with that's left over by CT. So that in itself might give them a better chance to keep trading smokes and keep things a little uncomfortable for GamerLegion. Smoke down towards long. Story saw it coming over, so he drops his in towards mid first. And again, to keep them at bay, double stack short. This could be spicy. Flash comes over. There's a lot. Azu does get out. The Deagle gonna get one. Not bad. Still, Azu needs to get at least one here, and he can't.
It's a dink, man. It's a gun diff. It is a gun diff there. Still slightly unsure of whether they should go for it. Cjot hidden in on the site, takes the low HP player first. I mean, you know, that's how you play that situation, really. Get the low guy in, get him traded. Mutiris to move away. It will, of course, be an eco in the next. So, a forced buy in the truest sense of the word, right? It's not Saw forcing the buy, but the game forcing them to do it because the money just was completely all over. Really, really big round for GamerLegion to steal them that previous. You know, that it's going to give them a great opportunity to close this gap now.
It is. It is. I mean, at least now we can start talking about how we get in towards this T side. We start picking up consistency, right? We've already got kind of the back-to-back rounds. There should be a third behind it. So, you know, those consecutive rounds on the board are going to help infinitely when we talk about money management and finding a bit of form back into this. And I don't really even hate Saw for the idea around buying around this. It just, you know, they had to, right? We spoke about it because of that double eco situation. It doesn't pan out. Sort of as expected, arguably, but you've got to go for it. You don't have too much of a choice. 5-3. Slightly muted celebrations, but GamerLegion know there's still a tall task ahead of them.
Okay, bit of life, but
I feel like that's from that might be from the other stream. Though.
I think so also, but
yeah,
you know,
3D Max have just got a couple of rounds back to back, so
this one's really quite tight. You know what I mean? I don't know that everybody's going to be joking around. This is obviously tournament life. Very, very, very difficult matchup to come out on top of as well. As you can see, both teams pretty damn close. Hard to split on Inferno right now.
Oh my god. ZTR and Materis 1-for-1 in the damage. The nade might do it. Yeah, it does. Oh, poor Materis. The worst possible base he could have exited out of. Azu, where do you even go? Into the flames, apparently. Feeling the heat quite literally as he goes down to the molly. So, simple one. B-side open. 2 remaining is 2 pistols. And that is that. GamerLegion, 1-round game. It shows just how quickly things can go up in the air. With this CT economy and MR12 and all the rest, you can very quickly recover from what feels like actually quite the hefty deficit.
Oh. Yeah, ZTR. Took him a second there to be like, wait a minute. That's not a teammate running towards me. But he's all good. Mac 10 is, of course, way stronger. So a clean one from GamerLegion, taking everybody down. It will be a buyback round from Saw here. Goodness me, it's crazy, isn't it, right? The 1 round has cost you 3 in total, and, you know, you weren't really expected to win the following 2. So maybe a little dejected. Just got to stay cool, keep it together, warm the hands back up, of course, and now put a stop to GamerLegion.
Oh, with the investment back in for Saw. Actually, probably the first round we've had from them, which is actually unbelievably important in the sense of keeping control in this game. Molly comes over, will push Seajot away. ZTR gonna play behind this, and a Molly will slow them down. He's very, very low, taking a lot of damage to YouTube in the early part of this game, but they've got, with the damage he's taken, they've got so much space now towards top and on it if they want to use it.
Seajot and Azuru on the bomb site together. Interesting. There's surely got to have been some moves to make that happen. You know, get the boys that know each other on B together. Yeah. I want to say it was Mutiris and Roman used to play B. So the IGL making a bit of a move. I could be wrong on that. I'm happy to be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that might have been the case on this map. At least once upon a time.
PR. Just testing what the presence looks like towards A, but this is ultimately feeling like a B finish. Got a Molly 2 flashes. Molly, good timing as well. They might have to go through this. Smoke towards CT. Materis is rotating over. He's deliberating. Do I actually commit to this? Seajot playing sight. Flash that does not affect him. That one will, though. He should be in trouble. He should be dead. And he will! But Azu's here. Oh, Azu! He stepped up so big in that situation. Those 2 kills with his final bullet, no less, have gifted Saw around towards B. UK Counter-Strike living on through the Portuguese side, but my god, Azu's done so well. Materis, of course, we were talking about him deliberating whether he goes, and his choice not to is super important. They combine brilliantly.
Yeah, I mean, perfectly played, right? Very, very solid moves through the smoke in particular. Got a timeout coming in here for GamerLegion. Maybe going to turn slightly technical, it would seem. As we do have a referee. He's disappeared, but he was on screen. Where's he gone? Into the labyrinth below. All right, there he is. He's back. All good. The old turn it off and on again.
Let's see if it works, right? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Who knows what the issue is this time, though? You know, we had headphones earlier. This one could be anything. Game crashing, lagging, FPS, you never know. You never know. But, I'm gonna pause here. GamerLegion, they might actually appreciate the break a little bit.
Yeah, all good. Just trying to, you know, doing my best lip reading here, try and figure it out. That would be quite good. The bad lip reading of shots like this would be pretty fun.
Yeah. My assumption is that it's something to do with not being able to hit Ash, I want to assume, because they were talking between ZTR and Ash.
And he was getting a bit
And then he was
close.
speaking afterwards. And I think now we've gone from a tech pause into a tech pause, judging by the fact that both coaches are getting on the mic. That's my thoughts are here. Don't quote me on it. But attack pause, that they'll sort of take all the same. Do you know one funny thing that I've been noticing in this Pro League, and this is just like a weird nuance thing that kind of made me chuckle a few times. Sure. You can tell which people spend like, or at least are from Europe or spend a lot of time in Europe, judging by how they deal with the bottle caps on water bottles. Oh yeah. Because you know, like ZTR, he's used to it. We're all used to it now. It's like EU rule that you have to have like bottle caps that are connected. I've seen some players. I can't remember who it was. I think it was someone over towards Payne. They were seriously fighting that bottle cap. It's obviously something they're not used to in Brazil.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and a little different for them. Someone on Tyloo as well. I can't remember. I think it might have been Jam Young as well. Was like really like awkwardly drinking it.
I kind of do get it though, because like obviously it's a little bit annoying. I know some people get annoyed by it, but I swear for a while there was like, you know, a trend or a rumor or whatever about that it's like, oh, you can't recycle the top,
recycle the lids
because it's hard plastic or whatever. So people would put it in the regular bin and then put the bottle in the recycling. So I think it's to try and combat some weird, you know, cultural thing that took over, that everyone was like, hey, you can't recycle the top, mate. Do you not know that? You know, and it's like,
or they would just like bin the whole bottle because like, I can't be bothered. You know, the lid's already on. The top can't be recycled. Let me just chuck it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Like in a regular. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You're live though. We're back. Nade gets broken open with that. Oh, the smoke gets broken up by the nade. And I say, Materius does damage, but could not find the kill behind it. So an opener for GamerLegion. They don't need to react. They slow it down. They pause. ZTR try to decide where we want to finish it. Deep smoke towards B, and they're going to leave just C-Jot here now. Azumi is going to come back. Seems like the right call. The bomb is starting to progress up Banana.
Slow roll here. GamerLegion kind of need this one. Try and keep it close on their own pick. They've left the lurk. PR, low HP, so you wouldn't expect loads from him, but he's kept the numbers over there, of course, which is a big deal. So let's see, new boys on the block. What can they get done? Azua with some damage, C-Jot with the finish. He will lose his head quick, as does Azu. Not expecting Red so close. Doesn't quite come off, and thus Saw will move for the save. GamerLegion hit 5.
Yeah, throwing in a Geo, just going to keep hold of the rifles, if they can, that is. PR is still lurking. And he might be able to make it a little punishing towards the end. Same side though, he's also very low, and Agil's holding 4. This should win the fight, he does. So an AK as an upgrade is available. You'll take that for sure. And for Saw, the game's now a 1-round game, as GamerLegion have pushed their way up to 5. And at least it's more competitive. We'll take it every day of the week. There was a bit of a non-existent showing from GamerLegion towards map number 1. As we all saw, they were so muted. This at least feels like there is something brewing here. It's still not convincing. I'm going to have to say that, though. It's been very, very dicey, even the rounds they have been getting, but it's better than nothing, right? And we want this to go to 3. We want to have an Ancient, a decider in this one. It's just, well, whether Saw have any other ideas about it, they will buy back in. Double MP9 5-7 for that final round. It's better than nothing, and they're actually prioritizing utility over firepower here, which I can get behind, especially on a map like Inferno.
Still working in my head I believe it's Agile, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, so
okay.
we were corrected a little bit in chat. So I was told a long time ago, I think back when he was on Rhino, I was trying to figure out, this is like 21, 22. I asked someone who's Brazilian, and they told me it was Agile with like a hard G. But I asked a good friend of mine, Wanda, he's a Portuguese producer, and he said Agile apparently means swift in Portuguese, like fast, I guess.
I can see it.
So maybe like regional regional sort of pronunciation. So we appreciate the correction, honestly. We're happy to be corrected if it is right. And, you know, let's go and get a second opinion. But Wanda has said, who is Portuguese, that it's Agile with like a soft J.
When this happens, like in my head, though, you know what I mean? It's every time you see his name, you're like, oh, I got to get it right. So it can be a learning process. But now we've talked about it, maybe it'd be easier. Anyway, he's dead, so it doesn't matter for the rest of the round. Unfortunately for him, man advantage GamerLegion. A lot of bodies here on B for the CT side. They're going through smokes. This didn't end well the last time they did it. Someone's made it into CT, mind you. Bomb's been dropped. Over on A, kill comes in, and directly C-Jot is by himself. So they're obviously going to know that. Got to try and take him down. They're on top of each other. He actually manages to get a kill. So it's into the 1 versus 1. I figured he was an absolute goner. ZTR's on 32 HP as well. So Mutiris to come in from CT. Keep it quick. Keep it simple. Gets one tapped in the end. ZTR will take him 6-6. Still not that super exciting Inferno we were expecting from GamerLegion. Couple of very, very close rounds. Some, unlikely rounds secured there as well. But all the same, they will keep things even here at the turn of the half.
They are actually quite lucky to get away with that, it has to be said, because it looked very dicey. And he was running out of ammo there, ZTR. Just with 32 points of HP. One tag would have been enough, but a great shot nonetheless. Halftime break for us, of course. But we'll be back to see if GamerLegion can push this towards a third very shortly.
As he turns it, nice headshot.
A much closer affair this time around from both teams. 6-6 at the turn of the half. GamerLegion showing up for this one, which is indeed what we expected, what we wanted. A game on our hands, of course. Survival here at ESL Pro League Season 21. Saw already a map in hand after a really, really quick and decisive train comes out from them. Inferno looking a little better from GamerLegion, but still not on that level of like, wow, this is their specialist home map. So Saw still in with a chance.
Very true. Pistol around here could be huge. We'll have to see. C-Shot's not on the dualies, though. Slend is. We'll see whether it works out for them. Nade is a healthy one. Torsten gets one, but he gets traded in the end by the nade, but it looks like he would have died regardless. ZTR did actually need a kill there, and a smoke down towards CT makes PR's job a little harder. Bomb should go down. 2 versus 3 on the retake. No kits to work with either. Going to make this a lot harder for GamerLegion. This first fight could be everything. Rez nails a shot on towards a Geo, and it puts it into a 2 versus 2. There's HP to work with for GamerLegion here. So honestly, Saw probably have to get a little proactive to try and find fights in their favor. But PR, what a shot by him. Got to buy time. No kit as we spoke of. And they're wrapping in towards Blue Box. He knows where they are. He can't get both. Nice efforts, but it's Rez who sees it off. And GamerLegion, my God, did they need that?
Yeah, I mean, the banana kill changes everything, to be honest, right? It removes that avenue of playing for the bomb, playing for the time.
Yeah.
Even if everything towards Church goes the same way, I think it would be a very, very different affair if Rez had gone down. So, really, really big pistol. And a 3 versus 2 as well with no kit.
Yeah.
Like, that is quite against the odds, to be honest. And I think we might look back at that as being a massive round for GamerLegion.
I'm telling you, if CJ had Julies there, Saw are in the lead. Simple as that. Let him cook with the Julies and he would have been fine. Even like Raid Boss, you know what I mean? Let him buy armor, someone drop him over. Who knows? We are going to force buy, though, for Saw. And it's sort of expected with the bomb plant. It's a very common angle to go for here. It still could be a little dicey. You know, Galil's in the right hands. Even that Tech 9 for a Geo could be spicy. C-Jot, Mac 10 around the corner. Trade. We need a trade here. It's not good enough. Towson for a big 3-piece. Geo might get a plant, sure, but the 3 kills alone should be the round in place. 1v3 for a Geo. This is a big ask for him.
Not completely out of the question. He's got a bit of time to get into a decent position. 2 to deal with from Banana. Just keep it moving. Keep it moving. Does not quite know where they're coming from. And that's exactly what they look to play around. Yeah, clean on the first. He wasn't ready for the second in at Banana. So he will go down. It's very, very close. You know, he takes Rez low.
Yeah.
PR fluffs it up. Could have been super costly at the very least. But yeah, not quite the case. See the other games setting up there on the edge of your screen. This one's still well underway.
Yeah, very true. This one feels like that third is going to be required, but I guess it gives them time to warm up and all the rest. Timeout going to be called by Saw here as well. Their second timeout used. And again, we get a bomb plant down, but I think this time I would sort of be a bit more understanding if they did go for a half buy rather than a full investment. You know, 1 or 2 rifles maybe and a bit of util, but actually no, they're just going to go for another full buy back in. Like, you do get the benefit of going for that if you really want. And maybe in their mind they're kind of thinking, look how close we made it. I guess maybe not so much. It was a 1v3 at the end, but look how close we kind of got. Let's go again. We've got a little bit better firepower this time out as well. Let's see if we can make it stick. But it's a risk. You lose this and GamerLegion can continue pulling further and further away. Some teams would half buy this, full buy in towards the next. You could have even had an AWP potentially if you had saved enough cash on hand. See Swapping Inferno, a little difficult, but in the right hands can be useful. And do you want to see Story come alive a little bit more? And that could be a way to get him a tad bit more involved.
Two smokes here for Saw. Both going to come out at the same time, so it looks to be a relatively quick A burst if they can, but the one smoke at the long hauls is enough to put them off. I think that was a bit of a team nade, actually.
Yeah,
PR eats that damage, so, you know, whoops. See whether it has an effect. 4 on A, ready to go. And the smokes have now dissipated, so it's all going to come down to raw fights here from Saw.
Wow.
And not really happening thus far. Nade is decent. Softens them up a bit more. Still potential to go towards B, which could be the move, to be fair, of course. It's only ZTR here by himself. They've got to be expecting him in at CT, but no, they really do not give him the respect at all. And he will mow down 2. That denies any chance at the round. A nice idea, but just not quite shrewd enough on the push.
Azu with the Mac 10. At that range, pretty unlikely, especially in a 1v4 turn, 1v3. Big round, though, for GamerLegion. As they're saying, keep it going, right? Ash trying to instill the confidence in towards his side. We are far from dead in this series. Reds and Torsen, dynamic duo playing out towards long, who do super well, but it's ZTR's double who shuts down any doubts that GamerLegion may have had in that round. And now at a 9-6, we do get that half to low buyout for Saw, so it should be double digits for GamerLegion here, which then starts to not lock it in place, but get us very, very close to that third map of Ancient.
Nice damage. Oh, Tulsa was thinking about it with another one. Could have done even more. Slow creep up banana for Saw. Plenty of utility for a round like this as well. Flash comes in over the corner. ZTR with the smoke down, but, you know, it's going to be a little bit too late. Molotov is slightly better. Torsen is completely caught off guard, though. Lovely move here from Saw. The sense of timing just totally gone. GamerLegion not ready for them at all. M4 recovered. Bomb goes down. I mean, you know, it looks good utility-wise, kit-wise, but it's going to be hard here. Really thrown for a loop on the GamerLegion end. Don't know how they feel about it. Flash comes in. Mutiris gets caught. That's the M4 hitting the deck. So there goes your raid boss scary player. Can the Tech-9s get it done? Molotov is pretty good into Azu. He just tries to play for the time. It's all going to be on a Geel here. In the smoke, they know about him. Down he goes. And the retake, they only lose 1. Very clean, very well handled by a completely disgruntled GamerLegion.
Yeah, it's actually a really solid round. It's not bad either from Saw. You know, they're coming in towards that one with a low buy and they get a bomb plant out of it. And even the constellation kills you'll take. You're not expecting to walk away with a round, but I think maybe Saw could have played that a little better. Too many exposed fights for me. And a little lackluster in the trades. I think they want to be baiting them in closer to take these kind of quick engagements, but that's hindsight for you. 10-6. GamerLegion 3 away now, 4 ahead. All signs point to Ancient Decider. Unless Saw have got a second win left in them, it looks like GamerLegion now starting to really roll through the motions, which is a really positive thing to see.
Story on the contact. He was so good at this on the CT side for quite a while. Ooh. Spots a player. He's also been spotted there, though. The nade makes it to him. They will take that. Flash comes round, and it blinds up Story, leaves Cjot isolated. He cannot survive. Change. The bullets are so close here, but Story does not get that trade. And thus, another opener for GamerLegion. The CT side has been pretty impeccable so far.
It has. It really has. GamerLegion just looking so clean in terms of their setups. Not over just yet, but it feels like it should be. Mutiris up close, trying to get sent around in towards long, and that's now control that he gets. You have to be a little precarious, though. There's a lot of copies that you can play from. PR back car as a site player too. ZTR giving up long control as he wants to hold for the potential wrap in towards CT spawn. 30 seconds, we gotta go. ZTR spotted.
Easy find for PR. Ooh, lands a lot of damage onto the next as well, so it's looking good. ZTR comes in at the right time. Going to need a hero to pop off here. Is it Story? There's 20 seconds that remain. Eliminate the player in on the site. He does have plenty of ammunition to go here. He just expects him in the corner. Spots him at the very last second, but Rez was so ready for that fight. Little tense, but it's GamerLegion still coming out on top.
Okay. GamerLegion as you've sort of already touched on, right? Just how clean this CT side has looked, and it's not changing. So struggling really to find any in routes. They're not even getting to the point of bomb plants now in these gun rounds, and that's the real worrying sign. They make it look easy. Yeah, they're getting fired up for the first time, really, in this series. We're getting noise out of GamerLegion. They know the spot that they're putting themselves in. A really, really good display. Third and final timeout by Saw, and honestly, I don't even know what you do from this conversation. It looks like, judging by Gio's investment already, that they are going to be buying in towards this one. So it's now or never. They're playing for the win, not for OT, but it doesn't matter what level of buy we brought to these T sides. It's just been GamerLegion have looked so clean. We had a very close first half, but it's been anything but since the second half began, and GamerLegion have kind of moved on to the CT. They've looked brilliant.
Yeah, long may it continue as well. Keep the competition coming. All down to Ancient is the way that it's looking. Shot doesn't find anything. Early utility in the banana area is as it goes. They've been so good at getting little chunks out of Saw at the start of rounds. Something that GamerLegion just really did not give was early T-side aggression in banana. They just allowed the control to slip and, you know, go for a retake later on. Nice little smoke there. Always cool to see the dynamic smokes in action. Rez, ready to go here. Oh my, he's so clean with it. He's so clean with it. That is unreal. Can't quite get the ace. Caught reloading, but goodness me, just 4 all by himself. And that really sums up this CT side, doesn't it?
Yeah, easy for Rez as well. He's having a lights out map. He really is looking good. Towson's also stepping up in a big way. This is a beautiful display coming through from GamerLegion, but Rez is by name, by nature, making this actually look incredibly easy. And if he had just given himself a little bit more time on the reload, he honestly probably would have got the ace too. He hadn't taken that much damage. So that third map is looming now. And unfortunately, a tech pause here. Once again, it seems like we've lost a bit of the comms over towards GamerLegion. Headphones are off for a brief moment, but the in-ears go back in. So that is generally a good sign. When the in-ears are in, it means they're kind of getting ready for things. Seems to be some sort of issue on ZTR's side, though. He had the tech issue as well a little earlier. But doesn't matter, though. So, non-existent, unfortunately, in the second half. And it makes Ancient all the more interesting. We said Ancient's actually a map that feels very evenly. Statistically, it is. There's more reps towards Saw, but you got to question, I guess, the caliber of teams in some regards. And even as well, some of those losses were pretty dire. I remember the one at Cluj to FaZe. That one in particular was obviously kind of really, really bad. Twice, in fact, actually, right? It was like a 13-2, 13-4. So some really, really tough ones there. But then they've also picked up decent wins at this tournament. They beat Heroic, they beat Na'Vi. Don't know how much of that is the honeymoon phase, but
I think, as we've said, everything it has to be taken with a pinch of salt on the Saw side of things, right?
Yeah.
Some of those some of those results that you mentioned are part of what we would call a dead team. Not entirely, right? But, you know, little bits of it, and therefore are they going to play things differently? You know,
sure.
are they going to be looking a bit weaker? It's always a hard run. And did they know what players were coming in? Did they know things were going to be different in just a matter of weeks' time? That also being said, you mentioned the honeymoon period, which I think is kind of a legit thing, and, you know, may well have been the effect in some of their opening matchups here in Stage 2. At the moment, not looking good. Not looking good at all. GamerLegion really hit their stride in the second half, and they are one round away from a flawless second half to close things out.
well, CJ trying to find space. He'll drop a smoke, and he wants to try and stay alive towards top car. He might have been able to punish ZTR there with a flash. He's, I'm gonna say, he's playing with fire a little bit. He does catch ZTR through that smoke, leaving Towson all alone. He's got time for the rotate. Rez might try and flash him in here, or he might go for the plant boost, and doing it after it's been cleared is all the more scary as CJ double checks it. Well done, but not enough to get him that kill. Down goes Rez. They've got to know there's another player somewhere here. Towson relocated over towards Coffins. The bomb goes down.
Bomb has been planted.
Could be the first round in for Saw then. I think it will be, actually. It looks like the A players are not going to want anything to do with this. Torsen is doing his best to get away. The smoke goes down. And now he is trapped. But he's just going to wind that clock down and hope that he can take someone with the bomb, potentially. They might just see him. That barrel is sticking out, I do believe.
Yeah.
They don't really have any way of flushing him out, unfortunately.
Exit kill maybe for Towson. Azu still needs to cross, but I think now that he has, that's it. So finally a round for Saw. It's not going to make a difference, I don't think, to this series going towards 3. It's just been smooth sailing, bar that. On the A stream as well, because you had that Mongols game, that has been concluded now. Pretty dominant. 13-4, 13-7 over 3D Max. Mongols have moved forward now into the playoffs, and they've done it in style, done it with ease. Only allowing 11 rounds from the French. A very, very good display from them. I'm glad we're the one that gets the 3 mapper here. We're going to get our final game here on the B stream. I wanted to make it a somewhat memorable one.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, nice nade. Real nice nade. Agil tagged up low. PR doesn't want to stick around for the fight. Probably the smart call. A lot of damage has been dealt. Enough damage has been dealt. Agil's out, though. Not for much longer. He immediately gets dropped, but I kind of respect the confidence.
Really weird spot from PR, by the way. I think that'll be something that later on in the round has a fair bit of impact, even if these site players do go down. Which looks a bit likely. PR is fully hanging his teammates out to dry. They don't even really know how to call it. He comes away with 2. Second player had no idea what the hell was going on. 2 versus 2 here. Still not out of the pit. The bomb in such an awkward spot, mind you. And I think somehow during all this chaos, Tolson has made his way into the site. Mysterious does seem savvy. Okay, gets the spam down. Must have seen him moving in there or heard him moving in there at some point. So it's just the AWP against 2. Clean onto the first. Flash comes in. Looking for the shot. Can't quite find it. CJOT, though, has to be so very careful. And still no bomb recovered. 30 seconds. Slen's going to let it play out. CJOT is fully trying to bait him in to peek forwards. Bomb has yet to cross a more open angle. Again, a missed shot, but he still survives it. Still alive. CJOT back onto the site. Plant coming in. Gonna hold for it. And he softens him up, but not that that really matters all that much to the AWP, to be honest with you. Maybe thought he tagged him. Maybe thought he was a bit lower. They are both incredibly low, and Slen just cannot react fast enough. CJOT buys some more time.
Yeah, nicely played from him as well. Real patience for the youngster. Playing with, way more experience in the way you approach it than he actually has in terms of years. Super solidly done. I'm so surprised they get away with that. It really felt like it was done. I'm also super surprised the Materials even clears in towards Cold, because they already cleared that angle earlier and the site itself with the cross, but good on them for the bit of the due diligence to check just in case anybody had snuck through, which of course they have out of Towson. But 12-8, 4-round game. Only a little feeble over towards GamerLegion. So we're going to get what looks like a half buy. A couple of MP9s coming through. There's a rifle in play. Saving money for the just in case. I think it's a smart way to go about it. You've still got plenty of rounds to go. There's no need to rush here, GamerLegion. You could stumble across the line. All that you care about is you get across it, right? And push us towards that third. So I like this. 5-7, double MP9. M4 and ZTR, just the pistol. The USP and a smoke for him.
It's not a million miles away. 4 rounds. This one should be a gimme. And the econ will still not be fantastic for GamerLegion, so lose the next one. And it could be all 24. It's really not loads and loads of work. Lucky to be alive. CJOT feeling good. Feeling crisp. Nice find on Torsen, who tried to capitalize on him spraying through that smoke. So basically 2 kills picked up there. But of course, one of the scarier guns gets dropped.
The consistency that we're getting out of CJOT in this series is actually really scary. 21 kills map 1, 21 already in map 2, and who knows what more He could deliver assist there on towards ZTR, but Materity finds his C-Jot, then nails the 22nd and the B-side open, and that is the round. The youngster looking very crisp indeed in the remainder of GamerLegion. The 5-7, the MP9, they're not giving this a look in. They might go for a bit of the proactive exit play, but Agil's trying to be here as a just in case. The only worry for him is if he gets flanked, and I think he's aware that that is a possibility himself. And so he's going to go back and check. He's dancing around spawn. Looks like they might just slip past each other, honestly. But it's fine. They can save in towards Banana, and it's okay. I mean, maybe Bar CJ, he's actually very low. So he will go down, I think, regardless, would have been to the bomb or to the MP9. 2 quick shots from Story. There it is. T-side AWPing. Not easy to do, but Story, some nice shots. Saw, still far from dead.
Still in it. Still in it, man. And it is, you know, only a few rounds away. When you're grinding things out on the T side, you just take it one at a time as it comes. Play the call, play the execute or the rush or whatever it is that you're going for, and all of a sudden you could find yourself evening things up. So I think GamerLegion getting a little squeaky here, getting a little close for sure, especially if this one drops.
This round falls apart for GamerLegion, then we are discussing the potential. C-Jot, he might be in trouble here. Yep, Nate right at the feet. No chance there, unfortunately for him. Tagged up too much in the early part of that round. So you've got the main man out of the equation. That might give you a chance.
Quietens back down here. Ready on this A-bomb site. Very, very safe angles from GamerLegion. No one really taking any risks. Smoke comes over, but it's still so quiet, man. Smoking at the long hauls to keep that player at base. They're going to have to group up, try and work off of a brackets move. It looks more like a long play. But again, they're just hoping that there's an overface, hoping that there's one kill to come their way. And unfortunately, there isn't. Library smoke is another fake out. We've got 2 smokes left. It is kind of enough to hit the A side of things here. Molotov ready for the long hauls if anything comes that way. Oh, he's going to opt for short. Only 20 seconds left here, Neo. Not a lot of time at all. No one spotted, so yeah, full 15-second rush into the site. Gotta make it work. Gonna need a miracle here, it feels like. PR, unfortunately, catches too much attention, and the site setup is far too strong, so GamerLegion will see it off. Saw just didn't know what to do after losing that player in the early stage of the round.
Yeah, Decider now required, and that's what we wanted. We asked for that. Give us the age thing for them. They can get out the gate. C-Jot won't have the dualies, we assume, on the pistol either, so they've got that little added thing for them. Just take a look now. No, just a Glock for C-Jot. I would actually love to see him raid boss, right?
They're a bit more like defensive.
Yeah, it's true, it's true. But he's just so clean with them, is what I'm thinking. We're flying into the fights either way. Slend, what have you got for us? C-Jot trying to open things up. He gets shut down, as he will trade with Story responding in behind. That P250, talk about the raid boss. Resolance are back though. He had a fantastic map number 2, and he continues it with a nice pluck. And it really quietens down all abruptly into the 2 versus 3.
Bomb is pulling out of A. So, kind of a curious move here. Tolson's going to hear them. A quick find to even up the numbers and a grab of the info. Leaves Saw scrambling once again, and yeah, they're not quite dedicating to B. It's a nice little read from Torson individually. He catches them, he gets a kill, and he's like, they might actually pivot back. And right now, he would be correct. Because they are headed into Donut. I held off for a moment. They might have crossed the Donut and gone into Red Room, of course.
Sure.
But it will be an A hit here in the
good
end.
Position. It has to be said by Torson. This actually could get overlooked. Especially with this plant.
It's solid. It's a solid spot. They're ready for him a little bit, but he gets the timing perfectly. Azuru was watching it, just looked away. Head taken off. Mutiris left in the clutch, and he took one through the corner of the wall there. Glock gonna have to go crazy. And it does once in a while. Rez taken down low. Torso needs to bail him out here, and indeed he will. Well played by Rez to just draw him in, just keep it safe. And I think even if he went down there, the trade would have been instantaneous. GamerLegion, pick up the pistol.
Yeah, they needed that. For GamerLegion, that is really going to dispel any concerns about this Ancient in the early part and give them the confidence to continue what they've just done with that pretty, clinical Inferno. And do it again now, heading in towards Ancient and start finding the form, but find it a lot earlier. With Train, it took them so long, may I say, to kind of get into things and get the understanding. We're going to get a very early tack pause. Saw calling their first after the first round. He will buy with the bomb plant. Triple Galil, Mac 10, Agil, just the Tech 9 for him as he picked up a little bit more utility. Do you think with this early tack pause as well, there's maybe slight nerves playing in, at least for Golden, saying, okay, I need to squash this out quite quickly?
You'd assume so. I don't know, man. The pressure is fully on for this final map. It did feel like Train, bit of fun, Inferno gets quite quiet, and then GamerLegion take over and they start picking up the energy, but we've not seen as much when we were watching like GamerLegion Pain. There might be a little bit of rivalry there, but because it's like a 1-1 game or whatever, like everyone's just shouting, going crazy, they're not as fussed, let's say, because the result would be nice, of course, and you want to take it, but ultimately you still have a chance to survive. Not really the case now that, of course, you lose this and you're gone. Oh, the team kill. I was going to say, wait a minute, the bullets weren't quite there. Rez, did he just disappear? But no, it was a team kill that made the difference. Rez keeps coming in here. All the kills so far for the CT side are because of him, not necessarily down to his scoreboard, but all the same. Slen gonna find the final one, and man, that didn't even really get going again for Saw. GamerLegion looking good. CT side flying again.
There was a moment that felt potentially a little dicey. I mean, again, at least getting a bomb plant out of that is something, but this is how Saw also had started before, right, where they would just continue force buying off the back of bomb plants alone, but it's GamerLegion who can keep pulling away, and this is something that they did to bring themselves back in towards the Inferno. They were 5-1 down in that first half, and the way in which they're able to rekindle the flame a little bit is super important for them. We do buy back in. This is the Saw way. Some teams would choose to half buy here, buy next, but it starts well. Materis nails PR of a quick swing.
Could be nasty here. 4 in the cube. Never really going to be expected. Utility coming round, but again, only really gives the position of 1 away. When this bomb starts punching in, we might see Slen get aggressive, and try and catch them, but they're going to have to give it up. So this looks pretty damn good for Saw, if you ask me. Again, flash comes round, peeking into 2 on default. Now it becomes a little more problematic because you're so corralled in, so squeezed together at this point. Oh, Slendy could have had the kill, but he had to turn away for a flash. That is awkward. That is very, very awkward indeed. Azuu coming in behind here to close things out, and he will do just that. Saw nick it away eventually.
Great round, isn't it? Really, really good round. Respond immediately and make it look easy, especially because they were going for these force buys and trying to hard reset that GamerLegion economy in a way, or at least bring it back down to their sort of tumultuous level. The way they've done it just then, very, very well done. Azu's lurk getting so much leverage behind it, super important. That kill on towards Torso in particular, very impressive. GamerLegion, no surprises that they'll force buy themselves. So TR into a 5-7, MP9's out as well for PR and Towson. But what have they got? Can they respond in kind? Quad stack A is the early call.
I can respect it. It's early on. Go for these crazy picks. But you know what's happened again now? Go on. They're going B.
Yeah.
Stacked A, and they're going B.
It's the coin flip, right? Isn't it? It's the gamble.
But it feels like it's a weighted
never,
coin, though,
it never pays off, does it? It just always seems to be wrong.
Yeah. I think we've maybe seen 2 stacks be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, out of like 10 plus at least.
Wait a minute. Oh, good catch. Could get a bit more here as well. Got to be careful, Mutiris, that he doesn't give too many fights across. It's a dodgy little smoke. The bomb is not quite dedicated in just yet, so all these kills that they're getting, super, super valuable. Slen through the smoke keeps the damage coming. GamerLegion are in a real good spot right now. Even better. As I get the sentence out, Agil going to be the only one left, and PR patiently waits, and he will be rewarded. GamerLegion stealing it away, man. That's a really devastating round. The stack was on the wrong site. That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Credit to them for sort of, I want to say getting away with it, but it wasn't. It was actually really well played, isolating fights. And I think for Saw, they're just a bit perplexed by the immediate aggression, overlooking a couple of key angles, but a big thing for Saw, I guess, again, is that bomb plant, but there's like 3 different fights there where they're back turned. Yeah, getting fired up. That's sick. It's been such a big proponent of GamerLegion's success is the noise, right? They like getting loud, getting proud about the rounds that they win and really kind of using that in a sense. And the hope is that we get that consistency to continue running through. Like we said, bomb plant means buy. Simple as that. And Story will actually have an AWP in this one too. And Torsten finds out the hard way that the big green's in play.
But they don't dedicate. I mean, I can maybe get behind it. Story does get caught on the way out. Slen just pushing the edge of the smoke. Completely dry. ZTR doing the same thing. GamerLegion, very cheeky indeed, but they are getting away with it. Drop back is secured just about. ZTR lucky to be alive, so seems like the gods of Counter-Strike on the side of GamerLegion at the moment. Giving up the B-bomb site. Happy to do so. How does that dink even land? Slen looked like he was dead instantly, but he still gets some damage off. I don't know now, though. 3 versus 3 hangs in the balance. Mutiris, who else is looking to get up close and personal? It's a perfect kill from Agil. He will keep it coming. The nade takes him out eventually. 1 versus 1 now for PR to contend with. But where the hell is Mutiris? He really doesn't know. He doesn't have a kit available either. So time becomes of the essence. I don't know about the 10-second hold, though. He's going to hear the footsteps coming. Takes the head.
He's got it.
Gets the defuse. Lovely stuff. Yeah, there's plenty of time. No worries at all.
Sick from PR. You know, the man who graduated from Mouse NXT, and I think, you know, for him, there was a lot to prove. I feel like we've all sort of learned now, whatever Ash picks up, whoever Ash picks up, they're always going to be good in some way, right? It feels like he never misses, but PR already felt like a bit of a bona fide superstar when we saw him on Mouse NXT. Uber talented, was really delivering for them time and time again, and now he's getting the opportunity at this tier 1 level. He just continues to show, well, first of all, Ash's brilliance, right? But also at the same time, how good he is in his own regard. Had a nice couple of rounds early. The 3K on that slight sort of force by half by, whatever you want to call it. And then that one there, the 1v1, sticking the bomb until Mutiris gets up close and bang. Just like that, PR delivering. Saw their second timeout, and a timeout quite early as well. You know, 2 called within the first 5 rounds played. You can see the nerves definitely playing some level of a factor in towards Saw, and as we know, backs up against the wall. You lose this map, you are eliminated from Pro League, and I think it would be all the more damning to get eliminated for Saw in the fact that you get reverse sweeps.
Quick mid-move, nobody on the end of it though. Ooh, the break of the smoke. Nearly effective, not quite. I know Mutiris is over here, but no Molotov between them to flush him out. So trying to answer back. Aggression with aggression. We got 4 on B. GamerLegion are playing a very loose CT side, it feels like here. Super confident with their reads, and I mean, rightfully so. AWP chimes in towards middle. He'll keep an eye on the A-bomb site. But it does seem like they maybe have the number ever so slightly. Got to be careful now, though. That smoke that they've thrown, it makes the fights quite hard because it was, you know, pretty chunky smoke. Gets in the way of what you're looking for. GamerLegion left pretty worse for wear after that.
PR up close. Gutierrez just trying to play for the spam, but this, I mean, he gets his kill, sure. It's gifted over towards PR, and we know what this youngster can do. One spotted out. Azu needs a flash here. There is no flash. They're going dry, and PR will take these fights all day. And he nails both, leaving it all down to CJot. The youngster got to deliver, and he can't. PR, what a start this guy is having. My God, 10-2 out the gates.
Flying, absolutely flying. I mean, such a confident player as well. Saw it on one of the content pieces, went over one of his plays. And rightfully so. So young, and yeah, just a really great team around him, I think, for him to kind of flourish. We'll see whether he sticks in here is obviously the thing. GamerLegion being somewhat of a rotating door for hot prospects like PR. Either way, half by round 4 saw. Needs do some decent damage, but the AWP bullet, of course, is always enough. I'm trying to think, not quite sure what caliber it would be, like 308? Might be someone in the chat that's got a little bit more knowledge of like the real life gun that it's based on. Either way, it hurts. Pistols looking good, taking a few heads, but PR, of course, standing strong.
Nice shot.
Jill doing well here, though. He's got to get the bomb back is the trouble, and he has to cross that up once again.
Yeah, nice shot. Nice shot. But all for nothing. Consolation kills. GamerLegion starting to run through the motions here and do it, honestly, quite effortlessly in their own regard, too. That was a lower buy, so expectations weren't exactly super high. They would have loved the bomb plant just to alleviate some of the financial pressure, but it is what it is. 6-1 scoreline. GamerLegion flying right now. And Saw look incredibly muted, and Gutierrez needs to call them out of a real hole here. In towards mid. That's the first fight, and not a good one from Gutierrez as Rez delivers. Siege on a trade. PR's here, but he gets caught on the swing. These trades going Saw's way, and quite effectively.
Yeah, chaos has been strewn in the past few rounds, it feels like. Saw thriving in that. Bomb going to move around towards A, and there's not really anybody on the site. Slent's here in decent time, but, you know, this is the problem with the A-bomb site, and maybe why they are sort of abandoning it and trying to get aggression going on other sides of the map is one smoke can be enough to just keep you off. And then you have to go in for the retake. At one time, pretty retakeable site. And they bricked up the wall, and now, of course, everybody's quite used to it. It actually feels quite hard to get back into an A post plant.
Yeah, so, I mean, an understandable save here. They've got money in reserves for GamerLegion. They're not sort of under too much pressure, especially because of Slend. Especially if he stays alive, we are chilling, right? He can drop over probably 2. You would assume over towards kind of PR. And Rez ZTR as well could drop one over if Torsen needs, but he's got 1.7, so he should be fine. Just by making sure that we get util on deck. So we'll get a second. We've got to recover this half, though. I mean, if we're being completely frank, we're probably looking at somewhere in the region of like 5 rounds required for Saw to make this a chance here. And it's good for them to find a round, especially in that sort of fashion, but it needs to be, you know, consistent. And the trades were fantastic out towards mid, but you know that GamerLegion are going to continue testing you an elbow. And that trade war that we saw there, it's not always going to be super positive. But as a just in case, Ash wants to stamp this out. And I get that, right? Don't leave anything up to chance. Don't let things spiral before you get another say.
Yeah. Anything possible here, of course. And, you know, GamerLegion are always a squad that you'd maybe expect to go through in a pretty tough parameter. So full run back required from them, of course. Sort of a little fact check on myself from earlier. It was the 0-2 game against Pain. You know, I was just kind of throwing it in there, but all the same, these guys have not started stage 2 all that well, so they have to get their way back through the sludge. But they, of course, will always give it their best shot. CJot has got other ideas. He will take ZCR to kick this one off.
PR was tempted to stick around, but I think it's the right call to retract that position towards mid now. you don't need or sort of have to fight, especially when you've gone down to the man disadvantage. Look at the call here, though, by GamerLegion. Quad stack B early. Maybe they've read into something or they've seen it on the tape in the past, but that's where they believe this is finishing. All 4 remaining here. And, well, for ZTR's sake, who's calling from the grave, you better hope he's right.
Patient play from Saw. They do not want to throw this opportunity away. And my advice would be, don't go B, guys.
Yeah.
There's a lot of players on the B bomb site, as we've seen a number of times, and Saw not really getting a read on it. And it is tough, to be fair. But they've left the A bomb site very, very open. Barrel spotted. Oh, no! Not like
Worst case scenario.
Not like that.
Case.
Oh, they were on top of each other. I mean, I think they thought they had a little bit of a cook there where, like, the AWP was going to be above the rifle. He misses the shot up close here, Slen. Giving another shot at it, but Muteris will take him down.
20
Unrecovered
seconds.
numbers still look pretty good. One more dropped, and you feel like, yeah, time will just become the issue. Muteris now against the world. He knows it's not going to happen for him. He's getting flanked out here. Can he survive it? The answer is no. And GamerLegion pull back the 4 versus 5. Oh, we'll see it again. But I'm sure they go in for a double swing and they're like, CJot's crouched. I'm going to stand up on the AWP. No way he gets us both.
Worst way for that to fall apart. No, they actually just both crouched together, weirdly enough.
Okay, interesting.
Maybe a bit of a
really
miscom there.
Plan was there, yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. They wanted a 1-2-3 swing, but it was, well, not effective, to say the absolute least. Look at this.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to go quick. Going to go quick, and Slend will find the first, and he does it with ease as well. He's got the spot as ZTR. Nate gets, breaks open that smoke. Oh, Slend's getting mighty close on these pop shots, but they do lose the sight. Bomb goes down.
Story with a clean find onto Towson to maybe give them a chance back in. He's traded easily. CJot. Oh, should have been his. Doesn't matter all that much. He would have been in a tough clutch situation because everybody else fell around him. And GamerLegion back with yet another. The retake's looking so damn good. Saw have got some nice early round moments, but when it comes to, the post and everything,
yeah.
GamerLegion looking really, really great.
I know it's early doors, but it does feel relatively safe to say in a way that this feels like it's already a conclusion. Saw just cannot see these two-side rounds over the board. And it's getting too far away now. A 6-round buffer is not where you want to be at all. They've got to get bare minimum 4. They have to. If they don't, surely there is zero chance in hell. And a boost one up, Ascend goes back for that mid control. ZTR wasn't too far away there, to be fair. They've given up mid and expecting Saw to push. But it's more PR is going to be tested. But back on Miles and XT, he would make this site just look so good. Him and Natu on this site back in Miles XT days was so strong. And PR proving why. Oh my, 3 for the youngsters. ZTR comes in behind. Flashbang bounces round. And the IGL leading by example. That is a masterful shutdown of Saw. And GamerLegion are rocking now.
Walking on water, mate. Walking on water. They can do no wrong. I mean, yeah, 2 completely individual moments. And you can see kind of dejected on the Saw side, trying to stay in it, but it's not a great feeling. And look, you lose a round like that, it's no one's fault. Nothing went wrong. You just get demolished, and you have to take it in stride. We'll see whether Saw can do that. And of course, a complete reset going to be required for them into the second half. This is going from bad to worse to whatever comes after that.
Yeah, no, exactly. Bad to worse to brutal, honestly. Smoke down. CJot. I think he has a rough idea of where ZTR was going there. The spam is a little close. Story just evading it by chance.
Oh, bit of a shoulder spotted. Muteris knows they're there. Double swing comes round from Shelf as well.
Oh,
Slen can't quite trade. Goes back in. Also can't hit the shot. I think the bullets go
Yikes.
between the legs. So sort of come away. ZTR going to get checked. Down he goes. And Slen will be left all alone. So far, a few missed shots. He can't afford to be missing anymore if he wants to clutch this one up. Only one bullet left in the magazine, so surely not long for this world, and Azure will get him on the timing. So they do indeed get that third. It softens the blow. Still a lot of work to be done in this second half. They're always going to be capable, a matchup that they can certainly turn around, but we've not seen the best of Saw there in that first.
No, I think you're absolutely spot on. So, I don't know, the spot that they're in feels so delicate but so in trouble right for them. They're on thin ice and they just can't afford to make any more mistakes, and GamerLegion have been so punishing. PR has put on a clinic in this first half, and I don't see him slowing down anytime soon. We've got a halftime break, of course, before we see what it looks like in towards that Saw CT, but I'm not feeling too positive. We'll see though. We're off to a break.
As he turns it. Nice headshot.
So the very last step will be Saw's. However, that T-side campaign, really not what they wanted, I am sure. We do get a cheer from both sides, but there was far more GamerLegion cheers, I can tell you that much for free. And a little bit more head in hands kind of moments for Saw, to be fair. So, indeed, battle for survival continues for both of these squads, but more so for Saw. No Julies! Where are the Julies? Oh my god, I've been waiting an entire half to see this man give us another masterclass, and he doesn't have them, and now I bet they wish they had given it to him, because, you know, 2 guns better than 1, and he might have been able to get them back into this round. What an open from Torsen.
Just when we needed the gunslinger, we've given him the nickname, we've given him all of our hopes, and look where we are. Look where we are. You hate to say it, but Slend lead out as he wants to fight against his former comrade. Does he clear close? I don't think Torsen gets checked it. He won't, and that'll cost him his life. All down to C-Jot. Does have the dual leads, and that's what happens, right? If he had the dual leads, he gets both. GamerLegion, this feels done. It feels like the curtains are being drawn on this series and Soar's progression in Pro League, and unfortunately, that's just how things are. It's been an unfortunate display on Ancient. They have been a no-show.
It really just summarizes as well, I think, how that first half went. They were very much playing to the tune of GamerLegion, and maybe if GamerLegion put a foot wrong and, you know, the early aggression went sideways, then Soar might get a chance. But when it came to the more broken down rounds of like, okay, we've got a kill, we've got a bomb plant, now it's like a 5v4, 4v4 retake, it would be GamerLegion every day of the week, you know, and we saw some great individual moments as well pop out. So yeah, it's deadly stuff. Slend with a little wave across. As mentioned, these guys somewhat familiar with each other. The old endpoint boys. I think, if I'm right on my timing, Slend would have been on the way out as C-Jot was on the way in.
Yeah, Azu and Slend played together though. Yeah. I saw Endpoint do a funny tweet earlier saying, I hate it when my kids fight. And he just had screenshotted Azu and Slend as like the higher rated people on both sides on the HTV page. But it's not that much of a fight, unfortunately, right now. It's quite a one-sided brawl. It's like, you know, the older brother versus the considerably younger brother. He's just toying with him a little bit. It's been super simple, but not even just so much. I mean, Slend's actually had some really, really great moments, but it is the PR show, right? He's looked so good. Slend's not doing bad, don't get me wrong. He's 14-5, just shy of 110 ADR, but 18-5 for PR with just shy of 125 ADR. I mean, my God. Those two together, though, have actually been, you know, immaculate in terms of most of the scenarios that they've been put in. Rez has a couple of moments here and there. His map number 2 was fantastic as well. Oh, GamerLegion, they're just too strong right now. And we're just not seeing anybody take kind of the forefront. We wanted C-Jot on that level. He's actually, you know, joint quietest on the server with Materis at 5 and 12. It's unfortunate. Just when they needed him, of course, he kind of goes missing. But, you know, even still, it's only really been C-Jot. He needs other people around him. You know, Materis has been putting up good numbers, but not today. Previous series have actually looked pretty solid.
So, as it looks to be maybe... oh, wait, hold on. Okay, here we go. Trying to make it loose and the USBs come out. The boost.
It's dicey, isn't it?
C-Jot in on the site. No, okay. Finally, the lack of armor gets the better of them. But when you see that first kill come in, you're like, oh my goodness, could be a chance here. But
yeah, bated breaths a bit.
But the last moment from chat, right? There's some guy really trying to make a case for the Hawk Tour girl to come on and be a caster.
She's like MIA, isn't she? Well, after like the whole.
I think she did come back.
Oh, did she?
I think she did come back. Yeah. Well, because, you know, obviously, maybe a bit
trouble. Like, surely she must be.
I don't think she will be direct. This is how they kind of get away with it, right? Because just because you're like the name of the thing doesn't mean that
someone else has
provided like the money and the token itself and all that. So it's like there's just too many layers of obscurity to, really pin it on someone. But I think she did come back and was very apologetic. But look, she might be looking for a job. So, you know, if anyone does know her and have a connection, maybe see if she wants to come out for...
Yeah, Haley shit
you know, we got a couple of events in America next year. You never know. She was at the DreamHack Atlanta. Would have been Atlanta.
Yeah. Because we were casting a game when she was in the crowd. I remember that, and we made a joke about it. I can't remember what it was, but apparently she was in the crowd when we. I can't remember what we said. It wasn't anything bad, but I think we just kept saying Hawk to her. I'm pretty sure.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. It's you know, if you want to try caster becoming the new norm, maybe we make this duo into a trio.
Hey, maybe.
She could bring the analytical knowledge of North American Counter-Strike, and I'm sure she knows the depths of it.
Once in a while, Hawk to it, you know?
Yeah, just throw it in there.
A few rounds, that's all she does.
The way Glorp has overtaken Pro League here, we can sort of revive that a little bit.
Yeah, revive Hawk to it.
Gets a kill, damage. On towards Story, still around here. Especially if Slane can stay alive and stay healthy, but there's a flank. And that's the only thing that probably cost Slender's life here. He will go down momentarily. There it is. And now it's Rez. 8 points of HP. Surely zero chance. They're scaling out through CT. He needed to hit that shot. And it does some damage towards C-Jot, but it's Saw who see the round over. Not dead just yet. Still a little bit of the Glorpin life left in them.
Indeed, apparently the best haircut in Portugal for Story, and it may well have just helped the team out there, the haircut power. But yes, it's a small lifeline being bought by Saw, of course. I don't think we really start the conversation about this getting any scarier. We will see a response from GamerLegion, so they will go in for the buy. Maybe if it was a bit closer, you'd expect this to be a half. They're also going to take a timeout.
Someone said Glorp X Tour combo. That's too strong for this.
Hey, that would be large. That would be large.
It's too powerful for the world right now.
I think, you know, everyone would just die from brain rot, really.
Yeah, in the current climate, we can't take it. We can't take it.
Yeah.
We're already teetering on a fine line, I feel.
Yes.
Timeout taken and a moment of rest. And I think for GamerLegion, I don't think there's too much to be worried about, right? But it's just don't get comfortable, don't get overconfident, don't get cocky, don't let things slip, right? I think that's probably the words that Ash is instilling into them. We're still fine. It's one round. It happens. It is what it is. We've got a bomb plan as well, so we can still buy around it. Don't stress. Don't overcomplicate anything. Play to your game. My God, PR is lucky. To get in and get out like that and be alive he's super fortunate. Rez, not the same story for him.
Not quite yet. Gun recovered. ZTR to move in. And they want to take this ramp control. Very interesting, you know, we see a completely different approach. Really heavy A presence from Saw compared to where GamerLegion were at with theirs. Start to rotate a few around here. Spam not quite on. Gives the position away of one of the players, but I think GamerLegion going for the old classic wind that clock down. And try and look for a late round execute. Do you really have one in there? I think barely. You know, one smoke is never going to be enough for me on Ancient.
Yeah, great. Looks like a finish towards A being set up. Even still. Couple of players here. Molly that comes down, but actually a little early. A smoke deep in Red Room, but Saw haven't fallen for this. They've still got two bodies in this position. Story, probably going to be first contact. The Geel not too far away. Mac 10 swinging around. He tried the transfer. Thankfully, it's a Geel. He gets both. There's still a fight to be taken. ZTR does so well. And the bomb can actually go down. He has crossed enough that he's somewhat safe, but he is alone on the side. And look at this play by PR. He's trying to go for a lurk, but I don't think it's going to be quick enough. They can just go and defuse.
Yeah, ZTR, he had the crosshair on. He clicks, but his gun just wasn't up, I'm sure. So it's unfortunate. And PR's like, listen, bros, not happening. They know where I'm at. I was trying to use the element of surprise, but yeah, one bullet is all it's going to take to blow him over. So here we go. High fives all round. Keep the spirits nice and high, but I don't know, man. If it was 10, I could maybe see it. The 11, 12 round mark is a much more dangerous prospect and very, very hard to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. Are you worried for GamerLegion or no?
Not yet. Not yet. I think that there will be a gap close, and it might come down to a few really close rifle rounds, but ultimately, not quite yet. Mutirius, you are correct, but you just can't see the head over the smoke, apparently. Uh-oh. 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 Revealed.
It's just pistols, right? You know, for GamerLegion, they lack a bomb plant. They recover the rifle. That's the art. Dips in the smoke, picks the AK up, gets out. Not too shabby. But again, I think it still feels highly, highly unlikely. So he just got the right idea holding towards shelf. And as that smoke starts to fade, he's just gonna pull away. Not an angle that he needs to play. And he will get support now as well. Terra's coming up to support. Seajot swinging a fine look to transfer. And he does excellently, it must be said. That's the bomb too to make matters worse. But it is inside of that smoke. So it's recoverable, but the round isn't. It's a 1v5 for Rez. And sure, he's had some great moments, but surely not this time.
Just gotta take a gun, you know? Yeah. Keep them modest. This is the big thing on the comeback train. The last thing you want to be worrying about is where your finances are at. So the odd gun here or there will make the, in your mind, inevitable 12th so much more devastating.
20 seconds.
Yeah, not loads of time. Okay, hold on.
Gila will find him.
No. Okay, he does. I thought he might have been able to get through it. Wasn't necessarily a surefire thing, and then he took a moment for the flash. But yeah,
right.
Some damage though, some damage. We're happy with that.
Yeah, sort of ramping up in a way, but it's still such a big recovery required for them. We actually saw a little bit of this on Inferno, where it's sort of as cast as what we like to call the cosmetic comeback, and this is still where it's feeling. Until he gets like an 11-10, I have no real faith right now, but this still is some level of financial woes. I mean, ZTR Tech 9 for him, as he prioritizes utility. So money's not exactly flourishing despite the half buys and saves. And Sora's still got chances. Not doing terribly in these rounds, and they're actually winning them quite comfortably. You know, they're consolation kills for Rez at the end there, but they're not impactful in any way. The Sword don't care too much about that. A couple of them here or there. It is what it is. 11-6. Like I said, I'm not believing until we get somewhere in the region like 11-10. Then I might entertain the idea. Oh, story though. We got to hit those if we want to get back in towards this game.
Yeah, very, very true. He will at least survive it. Flash comes in, scares Muteris off the angle. Smoke now dissipates. Decisions to be made for GamerLegion. Is there a gap to work with? Not quite yet. I think they're going to leave PR in this spot. It's a dangerous one, man. Your highest fragger in behind. Not sure how we feel about it, right? The rest of the team may well struggle to get in here. Lots of damage done through the smoke as they try and rush through. Trade is there. Now PR sort of semi-activating. Has he been seen? Did a shadow get spotted by a Gil? It feels like maybe. They're pulling away with that bomb. Gonna try and pivot through the donut. 20 seconds to do it. I mean, it has to go cleanly here. And of course, Muteris is hidden away. I mean, maybe just give them the space. Let them cross by you. He'll take the first. He'll take the second. Only 10 seconds to get the bomb down. There's going to be about enough space to get that. PR then now has to be the hero. And one is not going to be enough. Towson left to clutch it up against two here now.
Can he? Towson. Been a little quiet. Oh, and the spray sort of sums it up a little bit. Not to be for him in this one. Maybe if it was PR in that situation, you'd be a full believer. But it's Saw who survive. Another scare, but who are scaling in towards this game again, bit by bit, moment by moment. And that's where GamerLegion are going to start to feel the pressure. Ever so slightly. Nice effort, nice try, sure. And getting the bomb down was good, but Gio just a little crispier. Yeah, a little tilted as well. He knows the crosshair was close, but I think a couple of those bullets were going in towards the bricks. 11-7, 4-round game. Low buy again out for GamerLegion. Few Tech 9s. A Mac 10 for Slend and a bit of util to work with, and they just want to go quick here.
It's getting close now. It's getting worrisome, but this is where it happens, isn't it? Yeah, one of these quick rounds that come your way with all the pistols is often how it goes. Story does well to stay cool as he gets aggressive. P250 out as well, and he may well have just bailed them out.
Nice.
Lovely find in the end as well, so a great round coming in from the AWPer to just quell the nerves a bit.
Yeah, that was, I think, as the term we would use in England, squeaky bum time. It was very momentarily looking like there could have been something there for Saw, but it wasn't. Or for Saw, for GamerLegion, I say, on that quick play with the Tech 9s. And when you're on a half bar like that, I like those plays. Getting towards the fights, try and overwhelm. They just slowed down for a brief moment, didn't prioritize that plant, and Oh, that's what happens. So we go back in towards mid, 11-8, 3 rounds of difference. We're getting a bit of a game here. I've seen the word cinema thrown around a little bit. We're not quite there, but we're teetering on it. We're teetering.
Small C cinema, and I mean, it slowly builds up into being all caps, and then absolute cinema is, you know, the peak.
Yeah, exactly.
Gameplay.
That's overtime. Absolute cinema getting us towards overtime.
Indeed.
Or even actually Saw stealing it away. That would also be absolute cinema as well.
It's possible. It could happen here. GamerLegion, though, just start with 1. Just secure the OT. Make sure you do not get embarrassed on the upsetting comeback. So just 1 step at a time for them is all that we really need. What's the plan here? Story alone on B. 3 at mid is a wacky rotational idea from Saw, to say the least. And then Story over faces on the repeat. I'm not so sure about that. It will potentially give up the B bomb site here. No smoke in towards slant, though. The Molotov is no way a brick wall. Still plenty of time to get the plant in for me, but it's in an awkward spot, right? They have to fight their way out. And it does just about make it into a planting position, but he's going to be sticking out around the side because it's all very panicked. It's down to Torsen into the 1 versus 1. He doesn't quite know where he is, but he's got a good idea. Slow creep round the corner, looking for this head. The bomb just made it down, by the way, so no panic on that. I mean, I didn't even notice that it had gone down, and Torsen finds the heads, keeps his cool, and finally GamerLegion will put a stop to the comeback.
Nerves of steel from the Dane there as well. He's done so well. Couldn't quite convert in the previous 1v2. This time in the 1v1 makes it stick. I mean, my God, that was incredibly dicey by GamerLegion. It has to be said. The bomb jumping across like that in front of the site and giving fights over towards the long players. The bomb also nearly not going down as well. Final moments. But it does, right? A Divine thing was looking down on them a little bit in that round. They get incredibly fortunate, but you'll take whatever you can get. So call for their 3rd and final timeout. They'll only get another one if they can take it towards overtime, and if is the real word there, because 4 rounds of deficit, it is a massive uphill battle now with no mistakes that can be made. Mistakes, for example, like that Story peak. You know, we look back at it now and say, was that really needed? And obviously the hindsight proves to us, absolutely not.
Look, he takes 1, misses the shot, and you just have to deal with that, you know?
Yeah.
But he went in for the repeat, overcompensating. And it can happen. Players will be in the other side of the mindset where it's like, instead of playing safe and disciplined because you're the only one on the bomb site, they're like, I have to do something because I'm the only one on the bomb site. So maybe as well, a lot of it comes down to the mid-round call of sending 3 towards mid just to try and be unorthodox and unpredictable. Great flash around. Story is once again back on this angle. He's going to eat a grenade here. Nearly eats a second. That one does a little less damage. Only 7, so not too much to deal with.
Torsen just looking in to see what Story's angles that he's playing. I think smart call not to keep facing that box, though. Not a fight that you want to give over towards the AWP who's posted on the angle. Behind that donut smoke, Materius waits. There's 2 on the other side. There is a flash in Rez's back pocket to maybe send them in, but they might just be waiting it out to go in dry. Oh, if he spams now. Oh my God, if he spams. No, he does so much damage. Oh, how is he not going to kill? How in God's name is he not going to kill? And save for a Jill. I cannot believe that GamerLegion have still got all 5 alive.
Absolutely wild, and maybe just that 1 round is all they needed. Bomb gonna go down, Azuwu falls next, and Cjot does not even know what has hit him. Story deleted by PR, and I mean a poetic finish to have the young gun close out the game. Scary for a moment, and right at the level where you perhaps start to believe in the Saw comeback, they're able to shut it down, and then reality comes crashing down for the Saw boys that maybe this